into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. And I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards. Such a pleasure for you to join us this morning. Hopefully you had an amazing weekend. You were able to connect with family, do what you absolutely love. But I think first things first, we've got to connect with, send our love, our prayers to all of those that are being affected by the fires that are currently raging through parts of Cape Town. We know moving into residential areas, parts of UCT, a lot of people have been heavily affected, many people being evacuated, houses being destroyed. So we'll certainly bring you an update throughout the show and in our first news bulletin in just a moment. But lest we forget, it is a Monday and we are here to keep you hopefully in as good a spirits as we can. And helping us dance into the week is an amazing gospel performer. Marlon Bruyns is going to be performing just for you this morning. Then if you think you've thinking of what to eat today, we've got an unbelievable menu. How's this? We've got chicken spaghetti bake. We've got chilinaise chicken pasta. That's got Zoe's attention, and tomato biryani, and the choice is yours. And of course you can find all those recipes on expressoshow.com and cook along with us. Then in a day and an age of lockdown love and of course social media, does technology positively or negatively impact your relationship? We are going to be asking you that vital question this morning. And of course, we'll be talking to the experts to find out what role technology plays in our lives at the moment. Vitally important, but do we push it too far? Someone I know who is glued to her for now. She is so reliant on technology, she's even got a water bottle that tells her when she needs to drink. Good morning, ZBZ.
Good morning. What happened to my life that I rely on technology so much? I mean, I have to charge my water bottle, my toothbrush, my earphones, my watch. It's just, you can't keep up with all the technology. Well, a very good morning to you, and we love connecting with you on social media. So I'm pretty sure you've seen the trend online where you need to tell me something without telling me something. So we want to ask you this morning, tell me you're in a relationship without telling me you're in a relationship. My producer just asked me to give you an example. Since I'm never in a relationship, I don't know how to answer that. I'm joking. But you know, you can, oh, geez, how would I answer that? I don't know. So maybe you can head on over to social media, let me know with that hashtag Expresso Show.
I'm so tired because I spent the entire night looking after my children. Hopefully you garnered that I am in a relationship, so we'll help you out wherever we can. Very good morning once again. Welcome to all of you tuning in. Let's get this ship set to sail with the national news first. Let's start here in South Africa. The SA Health Products Regulatory Authority recommends that the suspension of the J&J vaccine rollout be lifted subject to conditions. So South Africa last week voluntarily suspended its intended rollout of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine after the US paused theirs due to reported blood clots in 6 recipients. The US recommendations have since been lifted, but better screening and monitoring of participants at high risk of blood clotting disorders are also recommended. And SAPRA also said additional measures are to be implemented to ensure the safe management of any participants who develop vaccine-induced thrombosis. Then a statement released last night said initial investigations show that the fire, suspected to have been left unattended by a vagrant, is believed to have been the cause of the runaway blaze, which has engulfed the Rhodes Memorial Restaurant and parts of the UCT campus as of yesterday and continues to rage on. A library at UCT believed to contain its priceless African Studies collection was gutted, as well as Mostert Mill, built in 1796 and the oldest surviving working windmill in the country, in fact. Many students have had to be evacuated from UCD residences, and 2 firefighters have been hospitalized because of burns, and we'll certainly watch that situation very closely. Then casting a wider net on the international front, the United States is imposing visa restrictions on Ugandan officials accused of undermining democracy. This follows the arrest of hundreds of opposition supporters in Uganda. It's reported that the election in which President Yoweri Museveni won a sixth term was neither free nor fair. The election was a generational clash between 76-year-old Museveni and popular singer and opposition lawmaker, the 39-year-old Bobi Wine, who also was repeatedly detained and harassed prior to voting. Wine later claimed widespread irregularity in the elections. More than 400 people are missing after being seized by the security forces. Then moving to Europe, the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral was watched by more than 13 million television viewers in the UK alone, and that's according to figures released. The one-hour service was viewed by 11 million people on the BBC, 2.1 million on ITV, and some 450,000 on Sky. The Windsor service was also broadcast on radio and several YouTube channels. In 1997, the funeral of Diana, the Princess of Wales, was watched by a massive 31 million people, which was at the time a record audience figure. The late Duke's conservation work has been widely praised by world-famous naturalist Sir David Attenborough. And next, news of an important milestone in the conservation efforts of the African wild dog. The iconic Hluhluwe Mfolozi Park in KwaZulu-Natal has released a new pack of endangered African wild dogs into their new home. This is an important milestone in the conservation of this species, being the most endangered carnivore in southern Africa, with an estimated 3,000 to 5,000 left in the wild, of which only 550 are found in South Africa. It's seen as yet another success story of the continued commitment to the protection of the African wild dog species, also known as the painted dog, and all other endangered species. All 9 members of the pack were fitted with tracking collars to enable daily monitoring of their movements, population and behavioral dynamics. The new pack, named the Umbulunga pack, remember that name after the area where they were held in Boma, a temporary holding facility before release, is composed of 9 individuals, 5 males from Tswalu Kalahari Reserve, and then 4 females from the Mamapulo pack in the Hluhluwe section of the park. This project is supported by the Hans Hossein Charitable Trust, the Gabriel Fakeney Charitable Trust, and a group of passionate individuals known as the Jocks of the Bushveld, and we certainly tip our hats to them. Well, that's where we leave our news headlines for now. Let's get into a bumper weekend of sport. Let's start with the cricket here. Locally, Pakistan secured a three-wicket victory over South Africa in the final T20 international match to clinch the series convincingly 3-1 at Supersport Park in Centurion on Friday. The Proteas posted a 144 total in their 20 overs. Rassie van der Dussen top scoring with 52 from just 36 deliveries. Pakistan reaching 149 to win the match with 1 ball to spare. And staying with cricketers in action, at least from a South African perspective, South Africa's A.B. de Villiers and Australia's Glenn Maxwell blasted Royal Challengers Bangalore to a 38-run win over the Kolkata Knight Riders in the Indian Premier League yesterday. De Villiers smashing 76 from just 34 deliveries, and then Maxwell following suit with 78 from 49 balls to help guide RCB to a comfortable win in the end. Now, other IPL results from the weekend: the Delhi Capitals beat the Punjab Kings by 6 wickets, and defending champions the Mumbai Indians, they claimed a 13-run victory over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Then there'll be one IPL fixture today, and that's the Chennai Super Kings up against the Rajasthan Royals, kicking off at 4 p.m. Then a massive shock locally in football as Chakuma Madivandila stunned defending champions and current PSL log leaders Mamelodi Sundowns to reach the Nedbank Cup finals. And that's where they'll face Chippa United. So after no goals were scored after extra time, the Brazilians and TTM went into a penalty shootout. And that's where TTM came out victorious 6-5, their keeper on fire. Chippa United also booked their spot in the Nedbank Cup final after seeing off Pretoria Callies 1-0. And then a little further afield, midfielder Hakim Ziyech's lone goal fired Chelsea into the FA Cup final, knocking out Pep Guardiola's Manchester City at Wembley Stadium. The Blues will now face Leicester City in that cup final after they beat out Southampton 1-0 thanks to a 55th minute shot on target by Kelechi Iheanacho. The FA Cup final will take place on the 15th of of May. And then we shift on to the track as Red Bull's Max Verstappen took a superb victory in a very dramatic Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix ahead of seven-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton and McLaren's Orlando Norris. So Norris finished as driver of the day after making his way up to third from seventh on the grid, and it was an action-packed race at Imola with the red flag coming out halfway through the race following a high-speed crash that involved Mercedes' Valtteri Bottas and Williams's George Russell. Both drivers, though, walking away unhurt, thankfully. And then moving to two wheels, Monster Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo made it 2 wins in 2 races after storming to victory from pole position at the Portuguese Grand Prix yesterday. The Flying Frenchman finished ahead of Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia and reigning MotoGP champion Suzuki's Joan Mir. South Africa's Brad Binder rode an impressive race after starting from 15th on the grid. He finished in 5th place for Red Bull's KTM, and then 6-time MotoGP champion Marc Marquez beat the odds, finishing 7th upon his return to racing after being out with injury for nearly 9 months. We're going to touch on some of the weekend sporting action, starting with the football in just a moment, so stick around for that. But right now, let's get our first take on today's weather.
And it is a brand new week, which means a whole new batch of sunrise photos to go through and to share with you. A big thank you to each and every one of you that's taken the time to photograph and share your parts of the country with us. This morning, we kickstart the week with this lovely image that came through from Katlego Tempa from Polokwane. Polokwane can expect a sunny day, reaching a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Rochelle Moller shared this lovely image showing some pastel hues across the area in the sky that lightens in her area, so a very beautiful image there from Rochelle. And if you would like to see your photo featured during one of our sunrise segments, all you have to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your photo with us. And don't forget to include your location so that we can provide you with a brief weather update for your area. And while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we do have some international viewers who are tuned in via YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. So this morning we want to report on the weather from the city of Paris, the city of love. It is also the capital of France. Paris has been one of Europe's major centers for finance, diplomacy, commerce, fashion, science and arts. Known by many as one of the most romantic cities in the world, it is scattered with many well-known tourist sites such as the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe and the Notre Dame de Paris. A maximum of 16 degrees Celsius can be expected in Paris today. That is the city of love with times of sun and showers. We now have some excellent news regarding climate change. China and the US say they are committed to working together and with other countries in tackling this mammoth problem. This comes after several meetings between Chinese climate envoy, that's Xi Zhenghao, and his US counterpart John Kerry in Shanghai last week. Both agreed on further specific actions to reduce emissions. US President Joe Biden is holding a virtual climate summit this week, which China says it is looking forward to. A statement released after Kerry and Zhenhao's meeting reads, and I quote, "The United States and China are committed to cooperating with each other and with other countries to tackle the climate crisis, which must be addressed with the seriousness and urgency that it demands." And that's the end of the quote. It also added that both nations would continue to discuss concrete actions in the 2020s to reduce emissions aimed at keeping the Paris Agreement alignment temperature limit within reach. Both nations also agreed to help developing countries finance a switch to low carbon energy. Well, on that note, that's where we leave your morning headlines and news. Let's quickly look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, a sunny day can be expected with a low of 10, a high of 26. Mbombela 16, 28. Pretoria 13 with a high of 27. Johannesburg 11 reaching a high of 24. Partly cloudy in Mahikeng today, 10 with a high of 28. It's sunny in Klerksdorp, 10 with a high of 28. Kimberley 11 reaching a high of 28. Bloemfontein also reaching a high of 28 degrees Celsius today. It's sunny in Richards Bay with a high of 31. Pietermaritzburg 14 reaching a high of 31. Durban 20 with a high of 29. Rain can be expected in Mthatha today, 13 reaching a high of 27. East London 16 with a high of 23. Cradock 12, reaching a high of 25. It's sunny in Gqeberha today, 12 with a high of 21. Rainy conditions in George, 13 with a high of 17. Cape Town 14, reaching a high of 20. Worcester, rainy conditions with a low of 13, a high of 20. Sutherland 8, 21, and sunny conditions in Uppington today, a low of 17 with a high of 32 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather for now on your Feel Good Breakfast show. If you have a beautiful photo to share with us, please do so on the Expresso Facebook page.
And as you touch your device that you're sending us that on, I want you to think about something. I think with the majority of people still working from home, doesn't mean that germs on phones, laptops, all electronics, in fact, have lessened and we can become complacent. Germs are still everywhere. Do you ever think about how dirty devices like cell phones and tablets can actually get? We did a test on the show. It will horrify you. You leave them on restaurant tables, you carry them into bathrooms, you allow other people to touch them and generally pick up hundreds of thousands of germs, and this is going to happen on multiple occasions throughout the day, especially during the show. We are constantly busy, like for instance our tablets. I'm going to be cleaning this guy. These devices carry a scary number of germs, and these germs then carry over onto everything else that we touch, so it is of utmost importance that we disinfect regularly. So be sure to shut down your devices, as I have done here, and make sure that you use an antibacterial wipe or a cleanser. In this case, we're using our all-powerful sanitizer, and don't spray it directly onto a screen, especially if your device is not waterproof, and make sure that you cover as much of it as you can, because this is something that you and a lot of people are going to be touching, and those germs will be transferred. So keep yourself safe, something simple that you can do, and it's also probably worth cleaning your camera from time to time to keep those beautiful morning sunrise pictures looking gorgeous.
If your sunrise snaps are prize winners, give it your best shot on Expresso and yours could win you one of those oh-so-chic Nespresso travel mugs each week for 5 weeks. So snap your best sunrise and post it to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page with the hashtag Nespresso Sunrise. Winners are announced Mondays on the show, and competition closes the 21st of April. So let's be seeing those morning masterpieces.
Welcome back. You are indeed live with Expresso on a brand new week, which means I have a brand new goal. And this week, my focus is on footwear. There is nothing like a stylish pair of shoes to kick the week off on the right note, to help you start on the right footing. My outfit today, pretty casual. I'm really liking it. It's a nice pink knit pullover, some black pants, but I need your guys' help to help pick the stylish shoe to finish the look. And here are our two options. So first up, and I'm digging these, we've got this nice retro sneaker. It's got a really nice thick durable rubber sole, nice paneled faux leather upper with a little bit of mesh detail, pretty funky, like the color blocking there, and nice tri-color kind of wedge vibe. Would dig them, and I think they'd work well with the color palette. I think that slight off-white and the leather color there would work well with the pink. And then, of course, we've got these to smarten up just a little bit. We can put our best foot forward with these loafers. They've also got, what I like is the complete flat sole, pretty cool. And I think they're quite slick and classy. So two different options to take my outfit into different directions. You can let us know on our Expresso Facebook page and comment on the poll post. You'll see it there clearly, and help me choose and which one is going to win our poll for the day. I don't know, actually no, I really can't decide for myself, so we're going to need your help. Let us know on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page.
Okay, well, listen, it is Monday, and after a relaxing or perhaps a busy week, we love to start your Monday off on the right note and really just set the tone for the week ahead. And that's why we have our Gospel Monday segments. This morning, joining us, our musician, Marlon Bruyns. It's his first time on Expresso, and of course, he is an up-and-coming gospel singer and songwriter. And now we're just going to get to pick his brain and get to know Marlon a little bit better. Good morning, welcome to Expresso.
Good morning, thank you.
You said you in Kuils River.
Yes, I'm currently in Kuils River.
Nice.
Grew up in Mitchells Plain, Tafelsig.
Oh, okay. So you are familiar with the Cape Town sounds and everything that Cape Town has to offer. Now, Marlon, where did your love for music and writing music come from, but more specifically towards gospel?
I think the love for music, actually before it went to church, it started at home.
Okay.
In the family, just, standing in front of the mirror singing. But at the time I just knew I had a voice. And I can sing, but I didn't know music as that much. So, and then in church, it started there in the worship team, being part of the youth, singing in there, being part of youth choirs, and yeah, so that's where it basically started.
Developed. You say it comes from the family. Do you have any other family members that can sing?
Basically from my dad's side,
okay.
And he's Muslim, my biological father is Muslim. So from his side, basically, yes, it's definitely...
They've all
voice
got
running, the
voices.
vocal, that's correct.
That is amazing. And from a personal side, what is it about worship that is so important to you? What do you hope that the music you write and release through your voice, that people will take from it?
For me, I think the music that I write is to let people understand that there is hope.
Yeah.
There's life. And worship is in my daily conversation. Worship is a lifestyle. And that is what I want to put out there, basically, because sometimes we see worship as this, we make it so heavy. It is a heavy thing, but when we have the basics in our communication, in our daily thoughts, that for me is worship.
And it's also like a relationship, one that you constantly communicate through, not just in the moment of need, but throughout the day.
Throughout the day, it's a lifestyle.
I like that. Now, you've also released some music. You've got your own tracks, such as God Sal Sorg,
yes,
as well as I Give My All, and more recently, you released Forever and Ever Jesus.
That is the one.
And let's talk about Forever and Ever Jesus. Tell me a little bit about the meaning behind that song.
Okay. Forever and Ever Jesus is a track that was sent by our bass player, Ashwell Bosman. So he's the actual producer and creator of the song. He then asked me to put some lyrics to the song, which I did. And then about a few weeks ago, actually, we brought in Roseanne Fredericks that also put some lyrics through to the song. And that is why we can actually perform it today.
Oh, that's amazing. So you are definitely performing that for us. Can you reveal what else you will be performing for us on your Gospel Monday?
I think one of the favorites is I Give My All. And then Reckless Love, it's a medley, but it speaks about the unfailing and the unconditional love of God. And just to put that out there, that is what Christ is all about. It's that unconditional love.
Oh,
There's nothing we can do that can make him love us more.
I hear you.
And that is so important for me.
I love that. Well, Marlon, we're looking forward to hearing you perform. It is Gospel Monday. Of course, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show because Marlon's going to be performing not one, not two, but 3 songs for us, yes?
It looks like it.
It looks like 3. Yes, that it is. So stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. And of course, we would love to hear what you have to say. But we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
You can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we delve into a bumper weekend of sport. A weekend of upsets for reigning champions Mamelodi Sundowns and Premier League log leaders Manchester City, both knocked out of their respective cup competitions, the Nedbank and the FA Cup. And the happiest Chelsea fan, I would imagine, in the world right now must be insufferable today. He joins us via video call to chat all things football. Welcome back, Coach Cookie Kutle. How are you, my man?
Doing you, Graham. It's been a good weekend, so I'm glad that you wear a Chelsea shirt this weekend. I'm glad that you were there. So yeah, feeling good.
You're glowing. You're positively glowing this morning, my friend. So let's start before I'm going to let you just sit on that and let those embers kind of glow just a little bit longer. We're going to start with the Nedbank Cup first. Massive, massive shock. But before we get to that massive shock, let's start with the first of our semi-finals. We might have seen this one on the writing on the wall just a little bit, but I think the romantic in me wanted the Pretoria Callies to go through, but they are back to the Glad Africa Championship campaign. That can be their focus because Chipper United are through with a slender 1-0 win. What did you make of that encounter?
Listen, I'm so glad that Pucci putting into the final. Obviously, it's great for us here in Quebec to get to the final. One of us side in the final. So we're excited. Obviously, Pretoria Callies had a great campaign. It was a tight game. You know, I mean, all semi-finals are extremely tough. So for Chipper United to come through and show, but they are, listen, it's very, very good. Like I said, it's a couple of fairy tales. So even cheaper getting the final is a fairy tale. So yeah, listen, extremely happy for cheaper.
Yeah, man, a massive, massive mark for the club. And as you pointed out, massive on a budgetary sense as well. And of course, then the Romans, they can go back to the Glad Africa Championship campaign where their focus really needs to be. And they can start thinking about promotion into the big league. And of course, the Chile boys will be facing Chakuma Madzi Vandila in the finals. What happened to Sundowns? Can we all put it down to an unbelievable performance in goal for TTM? You know, I never want a semi-final to go to a penalty shootout. You always want to see goals in the game, but in this case, it actually worked out better. What a brilliant performance in goal by TTM.
It's the thing, like, remember for TTM, it's a situation where they need to try to get Sundowns to penalty shootout, and then they did, and they won the penalty shootout. You know, the goalkeeper was outstanding. I mean, he deserves a raise today. Hopefully he's not working today. Hopefully he's got a day off. I mean, he worked overtime. He worked overtime this weekend. So, listen, Shukuma, that's unbelievable for them. Beat Sundowns, one of the few sides of beating Sundowns this year. So, yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think 7 saves in that match. Incredible performance there. Let's shift to a different cup competition now, and let's get it out of the way. The big shock of the weekend, of course. It was a little bit of a shock, actually. Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, superb. Brilliant first half performance. They were able to seal the deal in the second. And I suppose for the neutral, it would have been nice to see City perform a little bit better and maybe go for that famous quadruple in terms of titles this season. But Chelsea were fantastic in that semi.
I've never not been more proud of Chelsea than right now. I mean, they were fantastic on the weekend. I thought we played so well. You know, if I'm Man City. Man United fans are extremely happy because they're still the only side to have a triple. So they're very, very happy right now. I mean, they were sending me messages saying thank you. I was playing on the weekend. Listen, Chelsea are outstanding. Obviously, listen, as a neutral, I do enjoy Man City's football. I really thought they were going to get it for quadruple. So I'm not too sad that Chelsea's the one that stopped it. But listen, yeah, great wins for Chelsea on Saturday night. Hopefully now against Leicester they can seal the deal and get a trophy.
Just looking at the visuals on screen right now, their shape, having Ziyech playing up front. I mean, they played with quite a City flair, actually, with their wing-backs playing incredibly well. But Tuchel seemed to have got it right now in terms of getting Timo Werner into the right places. I know Ziyech was superb, had one goal disallowed before the goal that he actually got. But the Chelsea shape is just working so well.
No, 100%. I think what he's done is obviously changed our pitch. I mean, he's been able to get guys playing well, Ziyech playing well, Werner playing well, Marlon playing well. It's a situation where, listen, if someone doesn't play well, he brings someone else in. And obviously, he's a massive manager, so that's what he's been able to bring in. So,
Brilliant performance. They're through to the final, and then, of course, they'll be facing Leicester City, who are up against Southampton. A bit of a dark horse in that we know what they are capable of. We saw what they did earlier in the season in the Premier League, but have been on a terrible run since that. But someone like a Danny Ings is always a threat, and the man who delivers the good is a guy who seems to have come good in a time where Jamie Vardy isn't maybe scoring the kind of goals that we'd expect from him. Iheanacho gets off a Jamie Vardy pass, but I think Iheanacho has now scored more goals in his last 7 matches. That's a third of the total goals that he's scored for Leicester. This is the right time for him to be shining at the moment, and Leicester are through to the final.
100%. Iheanacho has been unbelievable the last couple of weeks. It's almost like he's come out of nowhere, you know. I remember when they signed him, he was a massive purchase for them because, everyone knew what a promising youngster he was. And he hasn't worked out well, but in the last 2 months, he showed his value, especially with Jamie Vardy not playing well. And then now he goes again and comes up big in the semi-final and gets Leicester to I think Leicester well-deserved FA Cup final. I mean, for Leicester, if they can finish the season, hopefully without a trophy, because obviously Chelsea will win, but if they can finish the season with a trophy, it'll be good for their development, So I think, listen, great for Iheanacho to show his class in the space for Leicester City.
Yep, superb performance. They definitely deserved the win there. And of course, just flying through those results in the Premier League quickly, Everton and Spurs drawing level, which we kind of expected. Newcastle United, though, the big shock for me, beating a high-flying West Ham 3-2 to get themselves a few points clear of the relegation zone. Arsenal and Fulham drawing 1 apiece as well. And then, of course, Man United beating Burnley 3-1. Coach Cookie, don't go anywhere. Continue to gloat just a little bit longer, my friend. I want to see that glow continue throughout the day. We're going to be talking cricket when we return.
Well, I think it's safe to say there was a lot of excitement for the winning sports teams this weekend. But today, everyone is a winner in the world of technology. Now, Nedbank have enabled Apple Pay in South Africa, which means you can now load all of your Nedbank or American Express cards to your Apple device and make purchases with your phone or watch without having to take your card out of your wallet. Now, the best part is it's even safer than using your bank card. Now, this really is the ultimate win. And our very own Mr. Mike Wright, who works on the Expresso social media team, used his Nedbank-enabled Apple Pay this weekend, and it looks so cool. Let's take a quick look.
Apple Pay is officially in South Africa. Apparently it's very easy and simple to use. Let's go check it out. So I'm in the store. You double click the side. The interface comes up. You pull your mask down. If you have facial recognition, it sees your face. And you simply go down to the machine to pay. It's peanuts. And as you can see, it is super easy to use. I love it.
Mikey, Mike, did you bring any nuts to studio today? Well, ladies, if you are looking for Mr. Wright, he's right there. And of course, we would love to hear from you. So let us know if you have used Apple Pay, if you've used it yet, and what you have loved about it so far. And if you haven't signed up yet, then head on over to the Nedbank website for a full breakdown on getting signed up. It really is quick and easy, and you can visit nedbank.co.za/Apple Pay.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Get 50% off the attorney bond registration fee plus 5,000 Rand cashback on your approved home loan. Dial *120 *001 *123# to find out how much you qualify for.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked at the start of a brand new week. And I, of course, needed to start on the right footing with a brand new pair of shoes. I wanted your guys' help in deciding which direction to go. Kind of dressed super casual. Do I make it even more casual with a nice casual shoe? Love the retro styling of the sneaker. Or do I kind of raise the bar a little bit with those beautiful loafers? Let's see what you guys had to say and which I will be wearing. Rukaya saying retro sneakers, nice. Ingrid Viljoen saying retro sneakers, Mr. G. I certainly love that idea. Tolwando saying black shoe goes with what he's wearing. I agree with you as well. Andrew saying, good morning, Expresso show. The retro sneaker for Graham. I love it. Let's see if we've got any more votes coming through. But so far, the retro sneakers seem to be winning out. Nothing that works completely for the outfit. Do we have any more comments coming through? That's it for this morning. Guys, thank you so much. It looks like our winner for today is the retro sneaker with the faux leather, 3-color. I like the color blocking. Absolutely awesome. I think you made a brilliant choice. I'll get into them while we meet an amazing viewer. Thank you so much, guys. Well done.
Good morning. Good morning, Auntie Z. How you
I'm
doing?
not Auntie Z. You, Uncle Tubbsy, I'm not Auntie.
But you're not Auntie Z.
No, I'm not ready to be
Sister
an auntie.
Z?
Just
Baby
like,
Z?
No. Zozo.
Okay, Zozo. But listen, it's a brand new week, which means plenty of opportunities to enjoy the beautiful sunrise images that we receive from our viewers on a daily basis. I mean, they're stunning pictures. We really do love taking it all in when you send in those beautiful pictures. And this morning we're catching up with one of our viewers, right?
That's right. And I've had so many people ask me, how do I send my sunrise photos through? Well, it is super duper easy. You can just head on over to the Expresso Facebook page. We also have a really cool competition running, so make sure you find that Expresso page competition. In fact, it's Nespresso Sunrise. That's the one where you can win yourself that oh so chic travel mug.
Oh, yes,
but this morning we are going to be chatting to one of our regular contributors. This is Kashmira Herbans, based in Morningside in Durban. Good morning, Kashmira.
Good morning, guys.
Kashmira, look at you, bright and early, radiant, ready to serve it to the nation, just like you do when you send in those beautiful sunrise pictures. I believe you've been a long-standing viewer. Let's talk about your journey with Expresso. When did it start? How did it start? And how long has it been?
Yes, I've been watching since Expresso has actually started, since the days that when Liesl was a presenter.
Oh, wow.
So from the very beginning.
Wow. And what caught your attention?
I just like the look of it and the feel of it.
Oh, well,
It was very exciting. It is one of those very exciting shows, yeah. And it still is.
Oh, thank you for that. You know what? If you had to pick some of your favorite presenters, no, I'm joking. If you had to pick your favorite segments on the show, what is it for you?
My favorite segments, it's definitely got to be the food.
Oh, yes.
My kids and I, we normally have Expresso on in the mornings, and just as we're getting ready for the day, and as the kids are having their cereal, we watch the food segments when you guys are cooking up a storm usually. We love it.
And we do cook up a storm. The nice thing about the recipes is that, you know, we enjoy seeing people take to them and actually make them at home. But we make so many, and I sometimes wonder if people actually do make these dishes at home. Have you tried making any of them?
I did actually.
Tell me more.
I've actually tried making Zoe's peppermint cheesecake,
You
the
did?
recent one.
Oh, wow, nice.
Be honest, what did you think of the recipe?
It tasted very nice. I must admit, I tweaked it a bit. I used a different biscuit. I used the Romney creams, the peppermint flavored one.
Yeah.
And it didn't set very well, but the taste was there.
Oh,
It
amazing.
tasted delicious. It was very nice.
Well, Zoe is your homegirl, and I suppose it makes sense that you would make one of her recipes. But what did you think of the moment we had when Zoe was washing her mince? Was that a good representation for the people of Durban? Is that what you do in the city of Durban? Or do you think that that was a moment of weakness that should have not been articulated on the TV by Zoe?
When she was washing her hands.
Her mince.
Well, no, washing her hands she can do any time, but when she was washing her mince, remember when she was washing her mince?
Oh, you know what? It's fine.
No,
I
missed
rinse
that
my
part.
mince before I used to cook it, so it's okay. It really is okay. But I know you, Kashmira, you've sent some beautiful and really stunning images through for us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Can you tell us a little bit about your passion for sunrise photography?
Yeah, sure. I actually love taking photos. It's just random pictures that I take. These shots that I've taken are from my balcony. And it's just something that we wake up to every morning, which I think is really beautiful. And yeah, I never had time to actually pursue it as a career, but I do it just random pictures. I love taking photos.
Oh, stunning.
You got such a beautiful view. I'm so jealous. In fact, maybe show us a live shot of your beautiful view right now this morning. And maybe you can even give us a bit of a weather update this morning. What's it looking like? It's looking a bit sunny, but what's the temperatures like?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a live shot first. Let me just show you.
Oh, look at that sun.
It's quite sunny this morning.
Yes.
Oh, stunning.
Wow,
Well, Durban's
that's
the place to
beautiful.
be. I know you guys have had some hot weather this last week. And Morningside's
Yes,
such a
it's been
stunning
extremely
area.
hot.
That is so, so beautiful. And maybe give us a weather update. How's the weather looking there today?
Sure. So this morning in Morningside, it's a hot and sunny day forecasted for Morningside area with a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. Some gusts of strong winds are expected as well, with 41 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it's going to be hot today.
Oh, a nice
it's gonna be
hot
beautiful.
day. Durban's the place to be when it's cold everywhere else.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
definitely.
we love your work. Thank you very much for being a stunning contributor to the show. Your sunrise pictures, they really do add so much texture to that weather update when we do it. They are beautiful. And please don't stop. Please don't stop. Get your kids involved. They must also step in, take some photos when they can, and keep sending photos through, right?
I will. I definitely will. Thanks for having me, guys. You guys take care. You guys rock.
Oh,
You
amazing.
rock.
You
Thank
do
you.
rock. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us this morning. It was really lovely to, you know, put a face to the beautiful name and pictures that we always receive. And don't forget that you can also be one of our sunrise contributors for our daily weather report. All you need to do is capture a shot of your sunrise from your parts of the world, post it on Expresso's Facebook page with your location, and we could be calling you next.
Yep. Now that our souls are full after seeing those beautiful sunrises, maybe it's time to fill up our tummies with a delicious recipe that's budget-friendly too, my type of recipe.
Made with love by Clover.
Yes, time to fill the tummies, and I think understandably many of us are a little cautious when it comes to spending and saving our money. But our chicken spaghetti bake is one of those budget-savvy recipes made with a few pantry essentials that you'll undoubtedly have in your kitchen right now that will help you to triple protect your budget. This morning, Teresa joins us to whip up a family favorites. This is going to feed the masses. I like that. This is hearty. This is some good soul food, and this is relatively inexpensive, using a lot of what we would generally have in the pantry, as I said.
Exactly right. So what I've done here is I've got some butter in the pan and I'm frying up some onion and some green pepper.
Oh, nice.
So beautiful. Yeah, I love that it is sort of everyday pantry ingredients that you're using, and it's a nice quick dish.
I never used to be a big green pepper fan, but my beautiful fiance it's been part of a diet plan that she's on, and she's eating a lot more of it, and I really like it from a kind of a textural perspective. It just kind of jazzes things up a little bit.
It
It's
really
lovely,
does. Yeah, it doesn't have to overpower.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is lovely and soft, and I'm adding some garlic.
Yep.
Gotta have that. And then we're going to add in some chicken.
And,
So
notably, we don't put the garlic in first and fry it first, so you don't, because it's always a danger of burning it. Very high sugar content.
That's
so
it. And then you
kind
get that horrible bitter taste.
Yeah,
you really don't want to
completely,
do
yeah.
that. So once your onion and your green pepper is soft, put your chicken in, your garlic,
And we've gone really small cubes of chicken,
Yes.
so it cooks kind
And
of
then
liberally.
your salt and pepper. And I'm going to ask you to do the sauce first, if you
Yes,
don't
I
mind.
will do it.
So we're using our Clover fresh milk, and we've got some mushroom soup powder.
Oh, clever.
So if you want to add about a cup and a half, and whisk that together.
I love it. And here we've got our triple protect, double purification, deep cooling, ultra clean packaging. And that means that you are thrice as safe. And it's also absolutely delicious.
Yes.
See, I've got a cup there.
So that's going to be the sauce that binds everything together.
Beautiful. I like the idea of the mushroom, chicken and mushroom.
lovely.
Beautiful, beautiful flavor.
Lovely flavor.
Combination.
And you could use different soups. You could use maybe an onion, that would work really well. Right, so this chicken is going golden, which is perfect.
Yeah, I think
Nice
that
and
is-
easy. It's a nice thing to do after work. Nice and quick.
Well, I was going to say it's simple and look,
Yes.
it's very healthy. It's
Yeah.
very nutrient rich, which is great.
Exactly.
And a little goes a long way, I would imagine,
Yeah.
for this. And I suppose you could leave the pasta, the spaghetti out if you wanted to.
You could,
But
yeah.
this for me is great. You're getting healthy carbs. You're getting some really good proteins.
Exactly.
Lovely.
And you could use different pastas as well. If you happen to have leftover pasta in the fridge,
You see.
you could pop it in, serve it with a beautiful salad.
Thrifty, thrifty. I love
yes,
that.
Yes, no, we like it. We're watching the budgets these days.
Yeah, no, every day.
Right, so our chicken's cooking nicely. So what you're going to do after that is you're going to pop this into your oven dish.
So everything is kind of partially cooked before you bake it.
Yeah. So you're going to put that all in because it is still going to bake in the oven for 25 minutes. So you pop that in,
Oh, that looks
and
great.
then your spaghetti's going to go in, or your pasta. Don't think this is all.
Yeah,
perfect.
and I think feeding off what you were saying, using any pasta that you've got left over, in fact, anything that you've got left over after the weekend, this is a great way to kind of combine it creatively and deliciously
Yeah,
into
do
one.
you want to pop our sauce on there?
Okay.
So that goes over the top. And then we're going to finish it off with cheese. The family loves cheese.
Oh, that garlic is coming through
Perfect. You can
beautifully.
smell it, yeah.
Left over.
So top it with some cheese, and then you're going to bake it in the oven at 180 for 25 minutes. So you want that cheese to be melted and golden and bubbling.
And let all those flavors infuse, as we
Yes,
say.
yes,
Absolutely
beautiful.
And that goes into the oven 25 minutes. I'm going to pop
Yeah.
it in right now.
And then while it's cooking, you can make your salad, or you can get your chores done.
You can just
and then
chill out,
dinner's
man.
ready.
Teresa, you can just take a break. This has been a long day. You can just take a moment, have a cup of tea, and just really, really enjoy it. Absolutely beautiful. I love the finished product. It looks gorgeous. You've got to
stunning.
let that cheese crisp up beautifully.
Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. A
Yes,
great and a thrifty
enjoy it.
meal. If you missed any of the steps, here's how.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we continue our discussion with Coach Cookie. We're talking sport and we are talking cricket now. And of course, we are talking rather soul-destroying series lost to Pakistan this weekend. I mean, if we're going to lose spectacularly. And that's what the Proteas did for all money. It looked like a below-par total, but then it looked like we were going to defend it. It looked like these young bowlers were going to actually get us across the line. And then it didn't happen. And of course, Pakistan get the series win in the end. Where do we begin, my friend? Can we start with maybe a great performance from South Africa? One or two players with the bat. Rassie van der Dussen at least getting his half century. So there are some silver linings here that are coming into play from a batting perspective. A couple of guys seem to have discovered their form.
No, 100%, Graham. Listen, Rassie van der Dussen, when playing white ball cricket, is basically John Bradman at the moment. I mean, he plays any ODI T20 game, he just scores runs for fun at the moment. That's how good he's been. I think Pakistan are happy to see the loss of him. The same way we're happy to see the loss of Pakistan, obviously, and Baba Azam. I'm sure we escorted him to the airport saying, listen, we're done with you. But listen, there are positives. Like you said, there are positives. I think inexperience let us down. You look at Magala, Williams in the bowling department. Experienced bowlers like Rabada, Nokia, they came home safely. But yeah, a lot of lessons learned. But as I said, I'm feeling a lot more positive than negative about the project.
Buddy, how do you feel about the absence of Calvin Rayner? A guy who has been shining in all formats of the game domestically. The whole purpose of having these kind of domestic competitions is to play players into form for their international berth. He was there as a reserve keeper. Is he really a reserve keeper? Surely we could have had him. We needed to have him there in that batting lineup.
No, 100%. I don't know how he wasn't playing. I mean, he should be in any Proteas side. Test, ODIs, T20. Like you said, he's gone back to the domestic game, scored runs as a batsman. He bats high up, so I think he should be in the side. Like we pitched four proper batters on Saturday, and we paid the price for that. I think how he's not in the team, for me, I think it's criminal.
Let's do a quick recap from a Pakistan perspective, because they've been a wonderful team to host. They've provided some fantastic cricket, and I think, like you say, some massive learning curves for a young South African side. Baba Azam, brilliant as a player, brilliant as a captain. This is a Pakistani side that is going to be a force to be reckoned with come World Cup time.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, they've come. Unfortunately, we played them in Pakistan, in South Africa, and they've beaten us home and away. So clearly they love playing against the Proteas at the moment. But yeah, listen, they're a side that's growing. Baba Azam is a great captain. I mean, they've got such talented players with Fakhar Zaman, Mohammad Rizwan, Shaheen Afridi. I mean, you look at the steps they've made. I mean, everyone knows that Pakistan, they're inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get from them. They're basically the France of cricket, basically. Like, you never know what's going to happen, but for them, they've started to become more consistent, and yeah, they're going to be a massive threat in the World Cup. I mean, they've won 40 of their last 48 T20 games, so yeah, wow. They're going to be a massive threat and one of my favorites.
And we tip our hats to a Protea side that has come a long way, but of course some notable absentees from that Protea setup, because they are all playing and earning big dollars in the IPL, which is also great. We want our players to get to cash in. Let's talk a little bit about those South Africans that are doing amazing things. And people might have thought I was being silly gushing over AB de Villiers, but now he has had a second knock, a masterclass alongside Glenn Maxwell. Brilliant performance yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, AB's a freak. I mean, that's the best way to describe him. I think he gets better with age. I mean, obviously, his hair grows less, but I mean, his batting gets better. So obviously, he's been outstanding. Yesterday, you put on a show. You put on an absolute show yesterday. You put on a masterclass. And listen, I just hope that we get him back in the green and gold. And if AB comes back, I mean, our side looks. We go from, say, an average start to almost a world-class start. So yeah, Bobby comes back, and yeah, listen, we kept better yesterday. You have to tune in and watch.
And then a player that needs to, I'm going to call him possibly the best T20 batsman at the moment. I don't know what the current rankings say, but looking at what he is able to do in this IPL, where there is, let's be honest, real pressure, because these guys, they need to deliver. They need to make good on their contracts so that they can get bigger contracts next time out. It's probably the most high-pressure T20 environment that you've got. Shikhar Dhawan, 92 of just 49 deliveries for the Delhi Capitals, helping them to a 6-wicket victory over the Punjab Kings yesterday. He is superb.
No, Shikhar Dhawan is outstanding. Like you said, the IPL is probably the biggest T20 tournament in the world. You have the best players in the world in one country, so there's no better place to perform. And Shikhar Dhawan, I mean, he's been doing this for obviously in India now. I know that they've been trying to get him out the side, but I mean, when a guy's scoring big runs to scoring now, you can't stop him. So yeah, he was absolutely phenomenal this week and a great knock. And yeah, he's still providing the goods. So how do you not pick someone like this?
Buddy, I've just got to say, I tip my hat at the quiet confidence of your shirt choice today. Absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to say well done. I'm going to say it. I'm going to throw up a little bit in my mouth, and I'm going to say well done to you and Chelsea this weekend as well, my friend.
Thanks, Graham. I saw you wearing that color, so I thought I'd try and match you, obviously follow your lead, but yeah. Thanks, Graham. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, we love you. We love your work. Go and have a fantastic day. You can let us know, who do you support out there? Where do your passions lie? What sport do you love? Hit us up on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page.
Thank you very much, Graham. Thank you very much, Cookie Monster. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines just after 7 here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We start off here in South Africa, where the private sector has pledged its full support for the government's national vaccination rollout. It says it has the capability to vaccinate some 163,000 people per day to assist the government, which has been criticized for the slow pace of the vaccination rollout. In a webinar held by Business for South Africa, experts discussed the launch of the government's electronic vaccination data system. The chair of the steering committee, Martin Kingston, said that the purpose was to address any bottlenecks that may arise. Meanwhile, the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, SAHPRA, recommends that the suspension of J&J vaccine rollout be lifted subject to conditions. South Africa last week voluntarily suspended its intended rollout of the J&J COVID-19 vaccine after the US paused theirs due to reported blood clots in 6 recipients. The US recommendations have since been lifted, but better screening and monitoring of participants at high risk of blood clotting disorders are recommended. And SAHPRA said additional measures are to be implemented to ensure the safe management of any participants who develop vaccine-induced thrombosis. In international news, Israel and Greece have signed their biggest ever defense procurement deal, which Israel said yesterday would strengthen political and economic ties between the two countries. The agreement includes a $1.65 billion contract for the establishment and operation of a training center for the Hellenic Air Force by Israeli defense contractor Elbit Systems over a 22-year period. The training center will be modeled on Israel's own flight academy and will be equipped with 10 M346 training aircraft produced by the Italian company Leonardo. In the United States, the U.S. is imposing visa restrictions on Ugandan officials accused of undermining democracy. This follows the arrest of hundreds of opposition supporters in Uganda. It's reported that the election in which President Yoweri Museveni won a 6th term was neither free nor fair. The election was a generational clash between 76-year-old Museveni and popular singer and opposition lawmaker 39-year-old Bobi Wine, who was repeatedly detained and harassed prior to voting. Wine later claimed widespread irregularity in the elections. More than 400 people are missing after being seized by the security forces. And next, patients happy and smiling after agreement between SARS and a top Cape Town doctor. Listen to this: 12 patients at Rondebosch Medical Center in Cape Town have good reason to be happy and smiling after being operated on by a top orthopedic surgeon and then having no bills to meet afterwards. How's that? The surgeon from Cape Town and his company didn't submit tax returns between 2009 and 2017, and they were fined 15,000 rand. The sentence was wholly suspended for a period of 5 years on condition that it was not convicted of contravening the Income Tax Act and the Tax Administration Act during the suspension. operation. Now, the doctor involved completed a diversion program and charges against him were withdrawn. Eric Dabazilila, spokesperson for the prosecution in the Western Cape, said the program required that the doctor performed operations on 12 patients at Rondebosch Medical Center, and the patients were selected from a waiting list of patients at Groote Schuur Hospital. The estimated cost of the operations was some 300,000 rand and included theatre costs, nursing services, bed stays, medication, surgeons, and anesthetics. And now the doctor's company footed obviously all the bills, and there were thus no costs involved for the patients or Groote Schuur Hospital. That's a good ending, and that's where we leave it for now. Here is a look at what's happening in sports with Graham.
Thanks so much to be. So after a bumper weekend of sport, let's tally the totals. Cricket, of course, here in South Africa. Pakistan securing a 3-wicket victory over South Africa in their final T20 international match to clinch the series 3-1 at SuperSport Park in Centurion on Friday. The Proteas posted a below-par 144 in their 20 overs, with Rassie Dyson top scoring again with 52 from just 36 deliveries. Pakistan reaching 149 to win the match with 1 ball to spare. Then South African cricketers in action elsewhere. South Africa's AB de Villiers and Australia's Glenn Maxwell blasted the Royal Challengers Bangalore to a 38-run win over the Kolkata Knight Riders in the Indian Premier League yesterday. De Villiers smashing 76 from just 34 deliveries, and Maxwell following suit with 78 from 49 balls to help guide RCB to a comfortable win in the end. In other IPL results from the weekend, the Delhi Capitals beat the Punjab Kings by 6 wickets, and defending champions Mumbai Indians claimed a 13-run victory over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Then there's going to be one IPL fixture to look out for today, and that's the Chennai Super Kings up against the Rajasthan Royals at 4 p.m. Then a big shock this weekend. Chakuma Chamazi Vantila have stunned defending champions and current PSL champions as well, Mamelodi Sundowns, to reach the Nedbank Cup finals, where they of course will face Chippa United. So after no goals were scored after extra time, the Brazilians and TTM went into a penalty shootout where TTM won 6-5. Chippa United also booked their spot in the Nedbank Cup final after seeing off the Pretoria Callies 1-0. Then staying with football, but a little further afield, midfielder Hakim Ziyech's lone goal fired Chelsea into the FA Cup final, knocking out Pep Guardiola's Manchester City at Wembley Stadium. So the Blues will now face Leicester City in that cup final after they beat Southampton 1-0 thanks to a 55th minute shot on target by Kelechi Iheanacho. The FA Cup final will take place on the 15th of May. Now back onto the track as Red Bull's Max Verstappen took a superb victory in a dramatic Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix ahead of 7-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton and McLaren's Lando Norris. Norris, in fact, finishing as driver of the day after making his way up to 3rd from 7th on the grid. And it was an action-packed race at Imola, with the red flag coming out halfway through the race following a high-speed crash that involved Mercedes' Valtteri Bottas and Williams' George Russell. Thankfully, both drivers walking away unhurt. And then back onto 2 wheels, it was Monster Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo who came good, making it 2 wins in 2 races, storming to victory from pole position at the Portuguese Grand Prix. And the Flying Frenchman finishing ahead of Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia and reigning MotoGP champion Suzuki's Johan Mir. South Africa's Brad Binder rode a very impressive race after starting from 15th on the grid to finish in 5th place for Red Bull KTM. And then 6-time MotoGP champion Marc Marquez, he beat the odds, finishing 7th on his return to racing after being out with injury for nearly 9 months. And that's where we leave our sport for this hour. Let's get another look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you, Graham, and we see you, and thank you for all of your sharing your sunrise photos with us. So for your 7 a.m. weather update, we received this bright image of the sun rising from Seek Kingville in Joburg. Now, Joburg can expect a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. And then Shalkino Botha from East London shared this lovely blue skyline with us. East London will reach a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with times of sun and rain today. Now, if you would like to see your photo featured during one of our sunrise segments, all you have to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and share your photos with us. Don't forget to include your location so that we can provide you with a brief weather update, and that is for your area. And while we enjoy experiencing a beautiful sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. This morning we report on the weather for the city of San Francisco in California. It is known as a cultural, commercial and financial center for Northern California. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the iconic landmarks people have come to associate with the city, and it is a 1.6 kilometer wide bridge stretching across the San Francisco Bay. Today will be partly sunny, reaching a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius in San Fran. And now some news updates for you. What will probably be the last bit of news on the world's largest iceberg that will be remembered as being the first iceberg to cover a star on social media. Well, it is no more. A68, as it was known, covered an area of nearly 6,000 kilometers when it broke away from Antarctica in 2017. That's the size of a small country. But satellite images show the mega berg has now virtually broken into countless small fragments that the US National Ice Center says are no longer worth tracking. Had it grounded, the berg's immense bulk would have disrupted the foraging behavior of British South Georgia's countless penguins. Of course, the iceberg wasn't just an object of wonder, it was also the target of some serious scientific investigation. It will tell researchers something both about how ice shelves are constructed and how they break apart to produce icebergs, and showcase the types of processes through which warming can destroy ice structures. Well, on that note, that's where we leave your international news. Let's quickly look at those temperatures here in South Africa. Here in Polokwane, a low of 10 with a high of 26 can be expected. Mbombela 16 reaching a high of 28. Pretoria 13, 27. Johannesburg 11 with a high of 24. Mahikeng partly cloudy reaching a high of 28. Sunny in Klerksdorp 10 with a high of 28. Kimberley 11, 28. Bloemfontein 8 reaching a high of 28. It's sunny in Richards Bay today, a low of 20, a high of 31. Pietermaritzburg also reaching a high of 31, and it's going to be sunny. If you're in Durban, 20 is your low, 29 your high. Rain can be expected in Mthatha today, a low of 13 with a high of 27. East London 16, 23. Cradock 12 with a high of 25. Sunny in Gqeberha today, 12's your low, 21 your high. George 13 with a high of 17 and some rain for today. Cape Town 14 reaching a high of 20. Rain is expected in Worcester today, 13 reaching a high of 20. Sutherland 8 with a high of 21, and Uppington sunny conditions with a low of 17 and a high of 32 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather for now. A final update coming your way shortly after 8.
Stunning, yeah. No matter what it's looking like in your part of the country, be sure to make it a feel-good type of day. It's the start of a whole new, brand new week. Every reason to
bit
smile.
Of a crazy start. We understand that,
in
yes.
Cape Town, particularly.
But we, of course, get to start with your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd kind of add a little bit of flavour to your day with a lovely quote. Let the beauty of sunrise keep your heart warm. It's courtesy of Leila Akita. I love that because your sunrise photos really do light up and warm our hearts.
They do.
Live in probably the most beautiful country in the world, let's be honest, and every day you show us just how incredible that beauty is through your stunning hashtag Nespresso sunrise pics. We have received so many.
Lots.
So many.
Lots.
So thank you so much for that. All amazing entries, but only one can be the winner of this week's stylish Nespresso travel mug.
Take a look at that. Well, congratulations to everybody. Nancy Govender!
Yay!
Nancy, good morning. Congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
I am so happy for you, Nancy. Thanks so much for sending us this spectacular sunrise that you did send through. I mean, look at that visual coming through there. That is a work of art, honestly. How does it feel to be this week's winner?
It feels great.
I've got to say, because it looks like with that picture, your timing was spot on to catch the crashing wave, the surf. Where did you take this photo, first of all?
I took this picture out in Pennington on the beach sometime earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
It's stunning. Are you
a surfer?
Are you like a surfer? Oh, well, maybe you are a surfer. Are you a kind of a regular early riser? Why were you up so early to catch the sunrise on the beach?
My husband and I love taking morning walks on the beach, and while he's doing a bit of fishing, I enjoy capturing the mesmerizing sunrises.
It sounds romantic, because I imagine that you and your husband are always just taking those stunning sort of sunrise walks by the beach.
And clearly you love you and your husband.
That's beautiful. You must really love a good sunrise. Why do you love a good sunrise?
I love a good sunrise. As every day the sun finds a new way to make its entrance. And it's so energizing and rejuvenating and just prepares me for the day ahead.
Yeah, we couldn't agree with you more. And thank you so much, because you really have contributed to our show. I mean, we're seeing some beautiful pictures there. So I've got to ask you a question, because it seems like you've got quite a loved-up relationship. Are you going to share your first coffee in your brand-new travel mug with your husband?
Definitely with my husband, Segi Govender.
Ah, stunning. Imagine she said no.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we would have been heartbroken. Well, I hope that he catches many, many fish on your next excursion. I hope you get to take many more beautiful sunrise pictures and, of course, get to enjoy a gorgeous coffee while you're walking on those gorgeous beaches in your brand new Nespresso travel mug. But thank you so much. You take a really good photo, and you're a very worthy winner this morning. Lovely catching up with you.
Thank you so much.
Nancy, you're a complete superstar here on the Expresso Morning Show. We really do love seeing your pictures. I mean, I remember as far back as 2 years ago, doing the weather and seeing Nancy Govender send sunrise pictures. I know. Just stunning. So a constant on the show. Keep the sunrise love coming. You never know. You could have your picture winning as the hashtag Nespresso Sunrise winner. Congratulations once again to Nancy. We'll drink to that.
Thank you.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment. Because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso, what else?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, time to get excited. Our next guest is a girl with pearls of wisdom for young and curious minds. We're connecting with Riabetswe Kungwane, who published her first book at the age of just 9 years old. Now she has a second book coming out in 2021. She has the creative imagination of a true artist and a natural flair for words, obviously. And she now connects with us right now, all the way from Pretoria. Riabetswe, welcome. How are you, hon?
I'm feeling excited.
You look excited. You look ready to conquer your day, which is fantastic. So good to be connecting with you properly. There are a growing number of young authors, young minds putting pen to paper and not waiting for older people to tell their stories for them, which is so exciting to me. Why did you start writing?
At that time, before I started writing, at libraries, there weren't any books written by kids. So it made me very angry that no kid books were written by kids. It was only adults. So I was determined to show that kids can write books and not only adults.
I can't believe at such a tender young age you're doing all this in the space that you're in, but you also describe your books as edutainment. What pearls of wisdom do you aim to teach other young children like yourself?
I aim to teach them good morals, like how to be empathetic, respect each other, and to be kind. And empathy is a superpower. So everyone, if you help someone, then you basically have a superpower and you're a superhero. And I just want everyone to be kind to each other, to show empathy. Then we'll have an amazing world.
100%, girl, preach it. So you are currently, are you 11 or are you 12 right now?
I'm 12.
12 years old. Take that on board at home. I've got to ask, do you get any assistance from your mom, or is this all you? How does that work?
She supports me when it comes to me writing my stories. So like when I'm writing it, then I go to her and I tell her the story, and she's always like, carry on writing, what's going to happen next? And that makes me so excited to finish my story and to give it to someone else to also be happy when they read the story.
And I'm sure your mommy is so proud. She's looking at you right now, smiling. But let's talk about your first book called Stories You've Never Heard Before, which was indeed published in 2018. And you also self-illustrated it, and it also qualified as a supplementary learning book by the Department of Education. That is amazing. Quite an achievement for someone so young when you were only 9 years old. Tell us all about that.
So I never knew that my book would go so far. I thought that like a few people would buy it, but then one day my mom told me that the Department of Education wants to buy over, I think, 10,000 books to give to schools. And that made me so happy that, people want to read my books.
Oh, man, and I think it really is just the beginning. You take into account, like in 2019, you were selected as a Global Citizen Ambassador for their #TurnThePage campaign, which is an offline reading campaign and a series of book drives that were aimed at galvanizing, getting young South Africans to donate books to communities in need. What was that experience like, and why is it so important to you that other children discover the love and enjoyment of reading?
It's important for me that kids read because reading gives you a lot of knowledge. And I know that some people struggle with school, and that's usually because they're not interested in reading. And I felt like being part of the Global Citizen was a way for me to show people that reading is very important and it can help you in, I guess, anything.
You are certainly setting the pace. We are so blessed to be able to connect with you. But I have to ask you, 2021 and beyond, what is next for you?
I am still writing, but everyone just has to wait because a big surprise is coming.
Ooh.
We have to wait.
Come on, no, you got to tell us more, man. What kind of a big surprise? Just give us a hint.
No, it's a surprise.
Oh, you're killing me, man. But we know it's going to be amazing. We know it's going to be big. We know it's going to bring joy to a lot of people's lives, because that's what you're about. And that makes us so happy and so proud to be able to give you this platform. Thank you so much for sharing your love and your passion for reading and writing with us. We love you, girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Like,
oh, man.
She's amazing.
An inspiration. We know that reading exercises and challenges the mind to be creative, to be smart. It's such a necessary skill. Just like Reabetswe, and with such a strong foundation, it is any wonder that this little girl is destined for greatness. I don't even want to say success, because she is going to achieve true greatness. Hopefully that's inspired you this morning.
Oh, well, what an incredible young lady, and definitely keep your eye out
Totally
for her amazing achievements. Now, we're going to take great pleasure in highlighting local heroes in our communities who are getting the job done that nobody else will.
And you know what? We're talking about Terence Crosler. He's one of them. He's from Scottsville. He started a library for kids, right? A perfect opportunity to start reading ahead of World Book Day. Such an inspiring young man who does incredible work out there in Scottsville. In fact, watch this. What are you reading there, my love?
Reading this beautiful book. It's Heart of a Strong Woman.
Love to see it.
Here we go.
Scottsville is a neighborhood just outside of Cape Town that is very well known for gang activity, but a community activist, Terence Craster, is on a mission to change the entire narrative of this community through the use of shipping containers that he has transformed into a library. Terence, man with the books.
Hi man, how are you?
So good to meet you.
Same here.
Thank you so much for having us here. It's fantastic work you're doing here. You've been doing it for many, many years, working with the community. Why is community work so important to you?
Man, I grew up in the community of Scottsville, and my heart just broke when I saw all these things, that negative stuff that happened in the community. And I decided, listen here, I've got a passion for my community, I've got a heart for my community, and I want to change. Because somebody along the line gave me an opportunity, so I just want to give back to that, to some other people as well.
This is such an inspiring story because you run the Hotspot Library out of 2 shipping containers, but putting it all together with all of this experience that you give to the kids must have taken a lot.
Yeah, man, so if you, again, I will say if you have the vision, if you have a passion for what you do and you love what you're doing, everything just falls in place though. So we're lucky to have 700 kids coming to our program, because if you look at other programs and some other kids that they're roaming around doing their thing, but for us it's such a great place to be in the community and see kids just coming into the programs that we've done.
I do learn a lot from the kids, and I think this is the library's the benefit for the kids, because seeing as this gangsterism is going on here, the kids can't walk wherever they want to. They come here for a safe space. They come here to read, we play games with them, and we actually have a lot of fun in the library. I know it's a library and it's supposed to be quiet, but we want the other atmosphere. We don't want it to be so quiet, so we give them a chance to interact with each other, get to know each other and stuff, yeah. So I think it's a good thing that the library is here, seeing we had a lot of kids here coming to do task and stuff. We give them an hour every day to do the homework, and a lot of kids has been coming ever since then. So I think this is something good we're doing.
Ik hou van games te spelen en boeken te lezen bij Oxford Library. Ik hou van bij de library te komen en games te spelen en alles te doen wat je moet doen. Zoals huiswerk doen en alles.
I like coming to the library because it teaches me about lots of things like science, and that's something that I love to do. But mathematics is something that I struggle in, but actually they help me a lot in mathematics.
The success story of Hotspot Library is so incredible. You started off with 30 members and now you're sitting with over 700 members. I mean, that must mean a lot, right?
I mean, lockdown has been good to us. To some people, lockdown was bad, but for us, lockdown was good to us because most of the schools were on lockdown, and so it was closed. And so suddenly we just have this increase of kids coming to this because they see the space as a safe space for them, as a safe haven for them. And they also came along us and said, listen here, we want to be part of your programs because there's nothing to do in the community. Being in a community like Scottsville where there's nothing else but this library that offers recreational activities. Well, we're sitting with 700 members, and so that's good for us.
You provide a learning environment here, which is great, but I believe that you also do provide counseling services to the children here. Why is this so necessary?
Man, if you look at Scottsville, if you look at the history of Scottsville, and over the couple of years now, for the past 3 years, a lot of killings has been taking place, a lot of shooting has been taking place. So for a lot of these kids, poverty, drug abuse, substance abuse, and gangsterism is like a second skin to them. They stand up and they just put it on, and they have this tough exterior, but in the inside, when we look at them and we talk to them, when they come to the safe space, they obviously open up to us, and that's where we offer. That's when we started offering this counseling sessions where we have mentorship programs with young boys and young men, mentorship programs with the young girls also. But we also do individual counseling, especially with some parents where they come for help with their kids and what the kids are going through.
You mentioned that this place is a safe haven for the children. I imagine that there's so much more to it than just the books we're seeing all over the place here and the counseling that you provide. What else can they enjoy and experience here?
So what we offer a variety of platforms where they can come in. So we do sport, we do soccer, five-side soccer, and we do some other activities like the arts exhibitions that we have. So we have a lot of stuff that we can offer them, but it's all about creating a platform for them where they can unleash their potential and where they can come in and say, listen, I don't like writing, but I like drawing. So it's not just about writing. It's not just about reading books as well. It's about coming into this space and exploring and finding yourself and finding your true self and finding what you love to do.
That's a really nice house. There is nothing better than getting lost in a book or getting lost in creativity, and especially for these children, because this is inspiring them to dream even bigger, right? Yeah.
Are you still enjoying your book over there?
Yes, and it's actually such interesting stuff here.
What are you reading?
It's called Days in Full Bloom. It's such a fantastic book. It's by Lucia Dramat. She writes beautifully. You know, the work that Terence Croster does is so inspiring because in an area like that, Scottsville, that is plagued with crime and gang violence, those children really do need an outlet, and that provides such a fantastic haven for them, and I love that.
And you know what, for me, just being able to go to a library and being able to pick out a book, there's just something so special about it, and being able to read, you get lost in a different world, and it's one of the best ways to travel.
And they can dream, right? Connect with us on our Facebook, let us know what you thought of that, and maybe go on Facebook, reach out to Terence Croster. It's people like that we need in society to, supported. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, hashtag Expresso Show. We'll see you in a bit. We have the Super M Conundrum, one of my favorite games on the show that you do not want to miss.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Mondays are all about making those money moves, and it's time for us to take a gap filler with Super M. I don't know why I said that in a funny accent, but it makes me feel happy. And we are going to make someone a winner in our Mystery M Conundrum game, which is a lot of fun. And today's theme is a really cool theme, actually. This is probably the best theme we've had thus far. It's the movies. And I stress the M in movies. So today's prize is something that I've actually had before. I don't have it anymore. And I'm heartbroken. It is one of the coolest things ever, especially if you love movies. It's a New Metro VIP card. It gives you a lot.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Okay, so if walking on the red carpet like a superstar is your thing, then it's time to meet our contestants and find out which one of them is going to be the bona fide VIP.
Okay, and joining us via video call is contestant number 1, Stephen Campbell. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, Stephen. You know what? Give us a quick little rundown, a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, I'm actually from Krugersdorp. I stay in the West Rand, and I'm actually a film producer.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so this might be a category you might be good at. What's your favorite movie?
Well, I love horror movies, so You know, any good horrors up there like Sinister, or The Unborn, or The Conjuring.
What did you think of Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe was great. I really enjoyed that movie.
You guys are stressing me out here, man. My little heart. I'm like the worst horror movie watcher ever. I'm just take it on board. But we love you, dude. Welcome. Good luck. Our contestant number 2 is Veronica Fourie. Veronica, good morning. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Very good, thanks. So I've got to ask, are you excited? Are you nervous? How are you feeling about taking part in our conundrum game?
No, I'm nervous.
Good, good. You must be nervous.
This is a filmmaker.
Thank you for your honesty. I absolutely love that. So where are you joining us from?
I'm from Benoni.
Okay, nice. In the area, representing the North. I love that. What is your favorite movie of all time and why? I have to know.
No, I love horror movies. That's just what I like. Wrong Turn, Five Sisters.
Oh, you guys are stressing me out, man. I can't handle horror movies. My voice is going already. Okay, well, okay. I'm hoping both of you have your movie knowledge on tap.
Are you ready?
So I'm ready now. I'm going to sip of my Super M. So guys, this is exactly how we're going to get the game started. And this is how it works. A mystery M conundrum will come up on screen and you will have 30 seconds to guess the word that corresponds to that clue. If you think you know the answer about that, then you've got to shout out your name and do it quickly and do it loud. After, and I stress after we have given you the clue. Then if the contestant who said their name first gives a wrong answer, then the other contestant will have a chance to answer.
Now, the contestants with the most correct guesses will win. Now, are the two of you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good luck, guys.
The games begin. Here is your first clue, or conundrum.
Or conundrum. Let's hope that it's not going to be a horror show from here on out. Okay, here's your clue.
It needs to be easy. It needs to be easy.
You can't sway me, okay? You can't sway me. All right. So the clue is this. It's a science fiction action comedy film based on a police officer who joins a secret organization.
Steven.
Go for it.
Men in Black.
Off to a flying start. Emphatic. I love that. Veronica, get in the game, girl.
Okay, here is
Yes, I'm trying, eh?
Here's the second one. Here's your clue. It's a teen comedy about a girl who joins a popular crowd at her new school.
Steven.
What is it, Steven?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls is spot on.
Oh, he's off to a flying start.
Bag.
Stephen, I love the way you put your hand up as well. It's very polite. That's great, man. Thank you so much. All right, your next clue, guys. Come on, Veronica, get in the game, girl.
Yes, I'm trying. He's too good.
He is very good. Let's see if he can get the next. It's a popular animation about little yellow characters.
Minions. Veronica, sorry.
Go. Right, what's that answer?
Veronica, sorry.
And give us that correct answer again if you got it.
Minions.
Minions, it is. Well done. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, here is conundrum number 4, and this is your clue. It's about a single mother who works in a hotel and she meets and falls in love with a politician.
One of my beautiful fiance's favorite films.
Oh, one of mine too.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess, Veronica?
No, I can't get it.
Okay, we'll give you the answer. It was made in Manhattan.
It was made in Manhattan.
I haven't seen that.
You're missing out.
It's very cute.
Something you didn't see.
It is very, very cute. All right, now let's see, okay? This one is very cool and has been made, has spawned many, many sequels. It's an action spy film starring a guy who does all of his own stunts, Tom Cruise. Steven?
Mission Impossible.
You got it!
You got it!
Well done, buddy. Oh, Veronica, you put in a valiant effort, but you are not our winner today. But thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You seem like an absolute sweetheart, so have a lovely day, and hopefully you can get to the movies and start increasing that movie knowledge.
Yeah, I need to.
But a very big congratulations to Steven. You are our winner! Well done, buddy. You have won yourself that new Metro VIP card. You're going to be spending a lot of time at the movies, my friend. How does it feel to be a winner?
Oh, that's great. That was a lot of fun.
You were awesome, dude. Clearly, you are the right kind of guy for this competition. I think you were perfectly matched. Well done. Are you planning on any special movie dates right now? Who are you going to take with you? Because now you can.
Well, gonna have to think about it first, but I know horror movies top of my list. Whatever I see that's nice, I'm gonna go there.
Stephen, congratulations once again. You've got an amazing prize making its way to you.
Thank you very much.
And there you have it. Winning is as easy as that with Super M.
Remember, there are many more M prizes to be won, like moolah, mobile phones, movie vouchers, and much, much more in the Super M. All you need is M competition. Who knows? We could be calling you to take part in our mystery M conundrum game next week. There are 7 different M prizes to be won by simply purchasing the Super M promo pack with the M prize you want to win. You enter by dialing *120*7837# and follow the prompts. The M you pick is the M prize you could win, and the more you enter, the more chances you have at winning. Like we have the Super M movies. There you go.
And remember, all you need is M. And agree with me that cream soda is much better than chocolate.
Chocolate.
Much better.
Chocolate.
It's much better.
Yeah, they're not in the affected.
Stand a chance to win moolah, mobile phones, and many more M prizes with Super M. Pick your M prize on your favorite Super M pack. Dial *120*7837# and follow the prompts. The M you pick is that M you could win. All you need is M. Super M Gap Filler.
Congratulations, Stephen. We love to make a winner here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And with winning vocals is gospel singer and songwriter Marlon Bruyns, who's standing by to perform his song, I Give My All. It's a fantastic song, and I can't wait for all of you to hear it. The winning song of our Twitter poll. He wrote the song during a very difficult time in his life, and he says that the song declares that who we are and what we have is only because of Christ, and we need to continue giving our all to him. Let's take a look at that poll once again to just remind you what those options are, because so you know how we got to that song, I Give My All. And those songs where I Give My All coming through at 63%, and God Sal Song at 15%, Reckless Love at 22%. All of them, honestly, such fantastic songs. But right now, Marlon Bruyns is here on standby to sing I Give My All. Marlon and team, take it away.
Thank you.
Of you, I surrender all. My life belongs to you. You're the one that I adore, and to you all praise is due. I give my all to you. No other God but you. Forever faithful and true. I give my all to you. I give my all to you, yeah. No other God but you. Forever faithful and true. Oh, I give my all to you. I give my my all. I give my my own. Everything I have all belongs to you. Everything I am all because of you. I surrender all. My life belongs to you. You're the the one that I adore. And to you all praises due. I give my all to you. No other God but you, yeah. Forever faithful and true. I give my all to you. I give my all to you. No other God but you, yeah. Forever faithful and true. I give my all to you. I give all my life is not my own. I surrender all. I surrender all to you, oh Lord. I surrender all. I surrender all to you, oh Lord. I surrender all. Come on, put your hands together. I give my all to you. No other God but you. Forever faithful and true, yeah. I give my all to you. I give my all to you, yeah. No other God but you. Forever faithful and true, yeah. I give my all to you. I give my
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! That is how you do it. Stepping into a feel-good Monday in this form, giving your all to the one above, the creator of all things, and saying that we thank you, even during the most difficult times, for carrying us through it all. Marlon Bruyns, you're fantastic, and I mean, the band is on fire. This is beautiful. Hashtag Expresso Show. What did you think of that performance? I give you my all. See you after this. Hey, music matches coming up after this. You and I are going up against each other.
Let's do it, sir.
We already know who won, but stick around. See you now.
it's that time of the show where we have a little fun and some games on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Yes, it's a Gospel Monday, and our performer who was beautiful before the break, Marlon Bruyns, now joins us for one of our favorite games, undoubtedly on the show. It's called Music Match, and we're going to put him against
Music
our
Match.
Music Match. That's quite aggressive. Sorry, it's not quite that aggressive, Marlon. It's actually, it's a lot of fun. You seem so confident, dude. Hey?
I'm good.
Yeah, with a voice like that, why would you?
Again, you were spectacular, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Performance was amazing. The sound check for the next performance sounds even better. It's just, we are so blessed to have you here. So thank you so much for that. How do you feel now that you've seen the level of confidence? I was just waiting for you to finish a mouthful of food that you were eating before. Are you finished? Are you finished eating? Are you finished?
Yeah, had to power up for this.
Yeah, no, you needed to get the carbs in there. All right, so this is how it works. I'm going to give you a word. You've got to sing me then the line of a song with that word. It doesn't have to be the title of the song. Just any song that features that word, gospel or otherwise. Okay. But I have a feeling we're going to have a bit of a gospel flavor today. I have a sense.
Let's see where it goes.
And the better you sing it, okay, the more points I'll award. No, that's not how the game works. But,
it would have worked, eh?
Yeah.
I would have lost then.
All right, so I'm being the guest, I'm going to give you the opportunity to start us off. All right, I'm going to wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you, G-Man.
Come on, see you representing Tubbsy. Come on.
Music Match.
All right, so the first word that I would like to hear you feature in a song is fire.
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 Old school.
Okay.
The fire of God, ooh, it's moving around the world.
Whoa,
yes.
The man's got soul.
Wow.
The man's got soul.
Wow.
Boom.
What a start, hey? I mean, how do I even top that? What a start.
Well, you're going to have to...
I'll just leave now. Enjoy the rest of them.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to just give you all 20 words, and you're going to sing us through the rest of the morning. All right, buddy, this is a tough one, but I have faith. It's royal. He's making his I have no clue face. You can do this, man.
We can always be royal. You can call me Queen Bee. I'll rule. Hey.
You didn't need to sell it with the dance.
With the dance,
just to elevate it a little.
Well,
that took a while.
I'll give you the points. Okay, one plays one. I love it. This one, it's got me stumped. Maybe you can find a song. Apartment.
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 Apartment. Shucks, man.
Yeah, man. Shucks, for real.
Look, artists have been known to just make up songs.
Yeah. So it's cool. Okay.
3, 2.
I'm writing a song in my apartment, checking the atmosphere.
What's that song about?
That just came up right now.
I'm going to give him the point. No, that's a real song. That's a real song.
Doesn't work like that, does it?
Write the rest of it.
I will definitely do so.
It'll go straight to number 1. I'll do it, man. I'll give it.
That's so good, that.
All right, freedom.
Freedom, freedom, where are you? Freedom, cut me loose, hey, hey. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause we need freedom too. I break chains all by myself. Let my freedom run in hell. Hey. I'ma keep it running 'cause a winner don't quit on themselves. No, no, no!
Okay.
That's my Beyonce.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. All right, you guys, neck and neck. I love this. All right. Anyone.
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 You can't make this one up.
Anyone.
You can't make them one up, please.
Yeah. I don't know a song with anyone, eh?
Come on, I can see.
I don't think there's anyone in that song.
No one can think of a song with anyone in it. In 5, 4, 3,
I think I'm gonna lose
2, 1. Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry.
All right,
It's cool. It's cool.
Check it. Don't smoke already, man. Come on. Okay, here's one. Is it a tough one? Maybe. Monster.
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed.
Okay.
Get along with the voices inside of my head. They're trying to change me, but they'll never change me. Well, that's not fair.
And the funny thing is, he does have voices in his head. I know, I've seen it on
It's really just the producer and the director. It's not. And they're not
let's see if you can fight your way back here. Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah, I know that. Shine bright like a diamond. And then? Like diamonds in the sky. Shine
there we
bright
go.
Like a diamond.
Yes. Hey.
On Expresso today.
Oh, yeah.
Bright like a diamond.
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to give him 2 points because that was amazing.
How's Graham adding the
Okay.
there?
Last song.
Yeah.
Good.
Nothing.
Hello. Good morning. Wake up.
Hey.
Good morning.
Is that a real
Does it work good?
Is that a real song?
That's a real song, right?
Is it a real song?
Yeah.
It's a real song, which means victory goes to Tomiso! Oh, man. No, bodes well for our karaoke tomorrow, but I can see you in it. You're in the
I've
zone.
had a practice run.
Buddy, you were great. That was
you
a
so much.
fantastic first-time
Put it
performance.
here,
Well done.
Marlon.
And, of course, Marlon's going to be performing again, doing what he
Yes,
does
Marlon,
best,
Thank you so much.
which is singing amazing songs. And, of course, he is part of our Gospel Monday celebration, so stick around for that. Right now, let's get back in the kitchen.
Oh, you know what? After all of that singing, I feel like you guys are amazing. But there really are a few things in life as comforting as a home-cooked hearty meal. And our quick and easy Be Well Chili-Naze chicken pasta, it really packs flavor and it really packs that punch with the goodness of omega-3s. And Teresa, she is on standby and ready to fire up our Monday morning with this delicious meal. Teresa,
Hi.
this is very exciting because we are using chili-naze.
Yes, so this is our hero ingredient. I can't wait to use it today.
Okay.
So we're going to use it in our sauce that's going to go with our pasta.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to squeeze some of this into our bowl.
There
and
we
we're going to be
go.
adding some extra spice as well. You can use any of the mayonnaises in the Be Well range. You don't have to use the chili-naze.
Well, it's amazing because what's great about the Be Well original tangy mayonnaise, it is that it is suitable for vegetarians and vegans. It is, you know, it's 100% dairy-free, which means it's vegan-friendly, and it's also naturally gluten-free. It is endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa. So really it is, if you love mayo like me, this is a good one to go for.
Yes, that's a good choice.
There we go.
So I've added some lemon juice and some chutney, and now I'm going to add some spice. So we've got some coriander, some turmeric.
Ooh, that's always a winner.
Beautiful color, and some chili powder. And you can, of course, adjust the amount you use. So if you love it spicy, add a little bit more.
Can you add some fresh chilies to that as well?
Absolutely, or even chili flakes. But if you want to chop up a fresh chili, that would work.
Because that would really, like, get the mouth burning.
Absolutely, and you know, this is such a versatile recipe. You can actually adapt it any way you like.
There we go.
So I'm going to pour this into our pasta. We have cooked the pasta already. And I'm going to ask you to slice up our chicken, please.
I'm going to slice our chicken.
So that has already been cooked.
There we go.
And then we've got some really delicious additions we're going to add in here. So again, with the chicken, you don't have to use it. You could use another protein if you prefer. So you can really kind of make it your own.
Play
Do it
around
your
with this.
way.
And this is obviously a dish that's going to be perfect to enjoy cold. So this is great for lunch the next day.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was going to say.
Add it for you?
Yes, please. So you can make it for a nice quick dinner, or pop it in the fridge and you can take it to work for lunch, or use it as a lunchbox filler, or even a snack.
I'm loving all the colors I'm seeing. You've added some corn, some red peppers.
Yes, some onion, red onion, which we've sliced up. So lots of flavor. And then we're going to add some nuts as well. So these are chopped nuts. They've been roasted. You can roast them in the oven or just toast them in a dry pan. Lovely crunch and lovely flavor.
You know what? Every salad needs to have a little bit of a crunch to it. So I love that we added some nuts to it. Really easy to just really quickly add that texture to it.
That's it. We've got beautiful texture in this dish. So give it all a good mix, and then you can finish it off with some fresh coriander or parsley or whatever you like, any herbs.
I know that's Graham's favorite.
I know. So parsley for Graham.
There we go. And you can just simply serve it up and you are ready to enjoy it.
Yeah, and you can smell it so amazing. And I reckon if you left it in the fridge overnight, the flavors would be even better.
Well, there's always something about a noodle pasta, and of course we are adding the chicken to it and our chili nays, which is our Be Well hero ingredient. This is amazing. Teresa, if people want this recipe, it is available on our website, so you can find it on expressoshow.com. Is this something the kids would love and enjoy?
I think so. You might want to tone down the spice a little bit for them,
okay.
But otherwise I think they would love it.
It's definitely family friendly. Well, I definitely want to tuck into some of this for breakfast, but of course this recipe is available for you on our website, expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. 2 hours down, one left to savor. Thank you so much for joining us for the ride this morning. It really has been a wonderful show. More performances coming your way, more beautiful smells coming out of the kitchen, and of course, an opportunity to get you set for the day ahead with those sporting and news headlines to be always standing by.
Thank you very much, G-Man. Let's take a final look at what is happening around the world. We start off in South Africa, where a suspected poacher has been found dead and his accomplice was arrested while trying to flee rangers in the Kruger National Park on Saturday. Spokesperson Ike Patla said that the field rangers detected incoming spoor at Pabeni and launched a follow-up operation. 3 individuals spotted attempted to run away, but with backup from the Air Wing and K9 unit, 1 was arrested. He told the rangers they had run into a herd of elephants, and later the rangers discovered 1 of the suspect's accomplices trampled to death, and the 3rd suspect managed to escape. Now, the private sector has pledged its full support for the government's national vaccination rollout. It says it has the capability to vaccinate some 163,000 people per day to assist the government, which has been criticized for the slow pace of the vaccination rollout. In a webinar held by Business for South Africa, experts discussed the launch of the government's electronic vaccination data system, and the chair of the steering committee, Martin Kingston, said the purpose is to address any bottlenecks that may arise. In international headlines, thousands of motorists and passengers were stuck in traffic for hours after police blocked major roads in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, to enforce a COVID curfew to battle infections. Videos and pictures posted on social media showed ambulances trying to maneuver through the snarl up. And last month, President Uhuru Kenyatta introduced a 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew to deal with a 3rd COVID-19 wave in Kenya. Now, Kenya has confirmed more than 151,000 cases of the virus and just over 2,400 deaths. The UK and US have issued travel bans to the country. Israel and Greece have signed their biggest ever defense procurement deal, which Israel said yesterday would strengthen political and economic ties between the 2 countries. The agreement includes a $1.65 billion contract for the establishment and operation of a training center for the Hellenic Air Force by Israel defense contractor Elbit Systems over a 22-year period. The training center will be modeled on Israel's own flight academy and will be equipped with 10 M346 training aircraft produced by Italian company Leonardo. Next, news of an important milestone in the conservation of the African wild dog. The iconic Hluhluwe Imfolozi Park in KwaZulu-Natal has released a new pack of endangered African wild dogs into their new home. This is an important milestone in the conservation of species, being the most endangered carnivore in Southern Africa. With an estimated 3,000 to 5,000 left in the wild, of which only 550 are in South Africa, it's seen as yet another success story of the continued commitment to the protection of the African wild dog, also known as painted dogs and all other endangered species. Now, all 9 members of the pack were fitted with tracking collars to enable daily monitoring of their movements, population and behavioral dynamics. And the new pack, named the Mbulunga pack, after the area where they were held in a boma, temporarily holding facility before release, is of course composed of 9 individuals, 5 males from Tswalu Kalahari Reserve and 4 females from the Mapumulo pack in the Hluhluwe section of the park. Now, this project is supported by the Hans Hussein Charitable Trust, the Gabriel Charitable Trust, and a group of passionate individuals known as the Jocks of the Bushveld. Great milestone over there. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here's a final look at sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Tabiso. Let's start with, well, probably not the best news from a South African perspective. Pakistan secured a 3-wicket victory over South Africa in the final T20 international encounter to clinch the series convincingly 3-1 at SuperSport Park in Centurion on Friday. Proteas posted a below-par 144 in their allotted 20 overs. Rasifan Dison continued his form, top scoring with 52 from 36 deliveries. But Pakistan, they were able to reach that 149 to win the match with 1 ball to spare. Now, looking at South Africans in action in the IPL, South Africa's AB de Villiers and Australia's Glenn Maxwell blasted the Royal Challengers Bangalore to a 38-run win over the Kolkata Knight Riders in the Indian Premier League yesterday. De Villiers smashing 76 from just 34 deliveries, and then Maxwell following suit with 78 from 49 balls to guide RCB to a comfortable win in the end. In our other IPL results from the weekend, the Delhi Capitals beat the Punjab Kings by 6 wickets, and the defending champions, the Mumbai Indians, they claimed a 13-run victory over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Then there'll be one IPL fixture today as the Chennai Super Kings take on the Rajasthan Royals. That one starts at 4 p.m. Then plenty of cup action on the footballing front locally. Chakuma Chamazi-Vandila, they stunned defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns to reach the Nedbank Cup finals, where they will face Chippa United. So after no goals were scored after extra time, the Brazilians and TTM went into a penalty shootout where some spectacular saves saw TTM win 6-5. Then Chippa United, they also booked their spot in the Nedbank Cup finals after seeing off the Pretoria Callies 1-0. Then staying with cup action, but a little further afield, midfielder Hakim Ziyech, who has been in an unbelievable form lately, his lone goal fired Chelsea into the FA Cup finals, knocking out Pep Guardiola's Manchester City at Wembley Stadium. That means the Blues will face Leicester City in that cup final after they saw off Southampton 1-0, thanks to a 55th minute shot on target by Kelechi Iheanacho. And that FA Cup final will take place on the 15th of May. Then plenty of drama on the track this weekend in motorsport. Red Bull's Max Verstappen, he took a superb victory in a dramatic Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix ahead of 7-time Formula 1 champion Lewis Hamilton and McLaren's Lando Norris. Norris finishing as driver of the day, in fact, after making his way up to 3rd from 7th on the grid. And it was an action-packed race at Imola, with the red flag coming out halfway through the race following a dramatic high-speed crash that involved Mercedes' Valtteri Bottas and Williams' George Russell. Thankfully, both drivers walking away unhurt. Then moving on to 2 wheels, Monster Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo made it 2 wins in 2 races, storming to victory from pole position at the Portuguese Grand Prix yesterday. The Flying Frenchman finishing ahead of Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia and reigning MotoGP champion Suzuki's Joan Mir. South Africa's Brad Binder also rode an impressive race, starting from 15th on the grid to finish in 5th place for Red Bull KTM. And then 6-time MotoGP champion Marc Marquez, he's back, finished 7th on his return to racing after being out with injury for nearly 9 months. So an impressive return there. And that's where we leave our sport for this Monday morning. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank
Thank you, Graham, and a big thank you to each and every one of you for sharing your sunrise views with us. We kicked off this morning with this lovely image from Katlego Tempa from Polokwane. Rochelle Moller shared this lovely image showing some pastel hues across the areas as the sky lightens in her area. At 7 a.m. we showed you Seek Kingville from Johannesburg, this bright image of the sun rising in his area. And last but not least, Shalkino Botha from East London shared this lovely blue skyline with us. If you would like to see your photo featured during one of our sunrise segments, all you have to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your photo with us. And don't forget to include your location so that we can provide you with a brief weather update for your area too. And while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we also say good morning to our international viewers who are tuned in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. This morning we report on the weather for the city of Louisville in Kentucky. Seasonal extremes in both temperature and precipitation are not uncommon during early spring and late fall. Severe weather is also not uncommon, with occasional tornado outbreaks in the region. Today's forecast includes times of sun and clouds while reaching a mild 21 degrees Celsius as a maximum. And excellent news regarding climate change. China and the US say they are committed to working together and with other countries in tackling this mammoth problem. This comes after several meetings between Chinese climate envoy, that's Xi Jinping, and his US counterpart John Kerry in Shanghai last week. Both agreed on further specific actions to reduce emissions. US President Joe Biden is holding a virtual climate summit this week, which China says it is looking forward to. A statement released after Kerry and Jinping's meeting reads, and I quote, "The United States and China are committed to cooperating with each other and with other countries to tackle the climate crisis, which must be addressed with the seriousness and urgency that it demands." It also added that both nations would continue to discuss concrete actions in the 2020s to reduce emissions aimed at keeping the Paris Agreement aligned temperature limit within reach. Both nations also agreed to help developing countries finance a switch to low carbon energy. Well, on that note, that's where we leave your morning headlines. Let's quickly take a look at those temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, expect a sunny day with a low of 10, a high of 26. Mpumbela 16 with a high of 28. Partly cloudy in Pretoria 13, 27. Johannesburg 11 with a high of 24. It's partly cloudy in Mahikeng today, reaching a high of 28. Klerksdorp sunny with a high of 28. Kimberley 11, 28, as well as Bloemfontein a low of 8 with a high of 28. Sunny in Richards Bay today, 20, reaching a high of 31. Pietermaritzburg 14 with a high of 31. Durban, your low is 20, your high 29. Rain can be expected in Mthatha today, a low of 13, a high of 27. East London 16, reaching a high of 23. Cradock 12 with a high of 25. Gqeberha 12, reaching a high of 21. Rain is expected in George today, 13 with a cool 17 as a maximum. Cape Town 14 with a high of 20. Worcester 13, reaching a high of 20. Partly cloudy conditions in Sutherland 8 with a high of 21, and sunny conditions in Uppington, a low of 17 with a high of 32 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much, ZBZ. Now, the award-winning gospel track Reckless Love by Corey, of course, climbed to the top of the Billboard's Christian charts and spent a whole 18 weeks at #1. This was back in 2018. Do you remember that time? I remember the song, fantastic song. This morning, gospel singing sensation Marlon Bruyns is going to be performing his rendition of Reckless Love and bringing it to life in the most beautiful way. It's a worship medley, the song that came second in our Gospel Monday poll. Marlon, the stage is yours.
Thank you, sir.
And you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you will light up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I don't deserve it, I couldn't earn it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Thank you for your love, God. Oh, what a Savior. Isn't He wonderful? Sing hallelujah. Christ is risen. We bow down before Him, for He is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Oh, what a Savior. Isn't He wonderful? Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. We bow down before Him, for He is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Oh, He's risen. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. All the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only, God.
Yeah. Reckless love. Fantastic. What does this song mean to you, Marlon?
The song basically speaks about the unfailing and reckless love of God. And I think for us to know that Christ loved us even before the beginning of this world. Because sometimes we tend to think that God don't love us when we go through certain storms and things through life. But my reminder this morning is that God loves us.
And He is a consistent God.
Yes, He is,
An
sir.
undying love, 24/7, 365.
Oh, yes.
And for all of us, take that, run with it. Love that.
Thank you, sir.
If
If your Sunrise Snaps are prize winners, give it your best shot on Expresso and yours could win you one of those oh-so-chic Nespresso travel mugs each week for 5 weeks. So snap your best Sunrise and post it to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook page with the hashtag Nespresso Sunrise. Winners are announced Mondays on the show and competition closes the 21st of April. So let's be seeing those morning masterpieces.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. Now, let's face it, whether we like it or not, we are deep in the technological age, and technology has a presence in almost every aspect of our daily lives. So, you know, if you sit and think about about this right now, how many hours a day do you, on average, spend on your device?
I'm
It's
like,
a lot.
my tablet's like drawing me to it right now. I mean, it's most of my day.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I mean, we are using our tablets for work right now, but
Completely.
the question is also like, what are you using your devices for? So today we are asking the question, do you have a positive or a negative connection to technology? Clinical psychologist Asha Dulab, she is here to help us unpack and discuss this topic, and we're also taking your questions and comments via Facebook, and if you would love to call us, our studio line's on your screen right now. It's 021 110 5552, so you are welcome to connect with us in any platform. because
Use your
you are-
device.
Use your
right
device.
now.
Connect
Use
with
technology
us.
to connect with us. Asha, always so cool to have you here. This is a really interesting one to broach because it's kind of a two-edged sword. You know, we want to kind of preach that we don't need to be connected. We want to be free of this kind of reliance on technology, but we are reliant on technology. And during this COVID time, it's actually allowed us to stay in touch and enrich. If I think of it in the context of Lindsay being able to, my beautiful partner being able to connect with her family, technology has saved us. How dependent have we become on technology? How interwoven is it in our lives?
It is very interwoven in our lives. I think the human brain has expanded to the global brain.
Yeah.
And I mean, every thought, word, and deed that we share has now become the world stage for everyone to, you know, have a look at and to have a view and have a say on it. So we're all kind of eavesdropping on everything that's out there in the World Wide Web. So we are very dependent on it, and it's all because of our compulsiveness. You know, we are like habitual human beings. So we want to, you know, engage in repetitive behaviors, and this is what we do with our devices. We get into a habit of just connecting with our
It's
devices.
a compulsion, eh?
Definitely.
And speaking of compulsion, I mean, can we go as far as saying it is addictive? Because I've had days where I've gone off to work and I forgot my phone and I'm like, ugh, I'll see it tonight. Whereas I have friends that will literally rearrange their entire day to go home and fetch their phone because they can't live without it.
I think that the human mind, by its natural state, is an addictive mind. So yes, I think it is addictive, and I think, you know, just that experience that you shared now, I think the panic that people feel when they've left their phone at home or misplaced it is a clear indication of how addicted we are to our devices. You know, the panic, we need to just take a step back and observe our reaction when we are not with our devices. How are we feeling? How are we reacting? Yeah.
My device gives me anxiety.
I was going to say, it does, and I've found, and I want to draw a line here, a distinction between using technology and social media, which is often the medium that we're consuming on the technology. And that, case studies have proven, we've spoken about this on the show, that when you disconnect from that, you are happier. The more you immerse yourself in that, the more depressed you become. Why is that?
Well, you know, we are engaging in social media also just to get that dopamine hit. Because of validation, to be seen, to be acknowledged. And if only we could have those things in place in the human relation interactions that we have, I don't think we'd be so dependent on that need. But we get depressed because we go onto social media, and what we do, we go into this comparative state of mind. We're comparing, what is my life looking at like compared to someone else's life, and
generally a false representation of someone's life. Yeah, a filtered.
We need to look at that mask that we are wearing, that we don't show others on social media platforms. So, and we need to really just take a moment and perhaps social distance from our social media.
Yeah, no, I've tried it a couple of times. I'll generally do it like over the year-end break or whatever. I won't touch any of those platforms. It's amazing. You don't die. You don't, your profile doesn't crash and burn. So if you figured out how to say you're not in a relationship without saying not, maybe you can say I get my dopamine validation from my social media platforms. That would be a good way of saying it.
I suppose that's one way of putting it, or at least my battery lasts the whole day because I'm not on it all day.
Really, really interesting discussion. We'd love to hear from you guys at home how you rely on technology. How has it affected your relationship? Maybe it's had a very negative effect because one of you or both of you are spending too much time online, too much time connected to your device. Let us know on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. We'll share some of those comments with you. And we'd love to hear any of your opinions this morning. Weigh in on the conversation. We're going to keep it going. We'll have another couple of sessions to chew on this one.
Yep, so we did ask you all of those questions and asked you on social media to weigh in on the conversation, and your comments have come through. Let's take a look at some of them. Tell us you're in a relationship without telling us you're in a relationship. And Gossi P says, I think the positive part is that the world is evolving in ways we never thought it. So it's a good feeling that our children are quickly adapting to the new world. Hashtag Expresso Show. We got another one from Heather Jasmine Grant who says, good morning, Expresso team. The positives of technology is that it keeps the kids up to date as they are challenged to this and helps them very much with school assignments. The negative side, some kids are becoming antisocial and forgetting all the fun kids playing games that kids used to play outdoor whilst growing up. And then we also got another one from Sipio Masondo saying, good morning, my dearest family. First and foremost, I'm not against technology, but I feel like kids should be limited a bit from technology. Yes, it's a wonderful thing that kids are able to adapt to our ever-changing technology, but the negatives for me would be them taking too much of their time being on a cell phone, for instance, that it can affect their schoolwork or their intellectual capacity. So with that being said, I would let my future bundle of joy as access to technology, but it would definitely be limited. Weigh in on that chat around technology and kids, and I suppose those effects of technology. Danica Joanne Vitboy says, my eldest son, who is 4, taught himself to be brilliant with numbers by watching number blocks and other YouTube videos. So in that sense, it is positive. However, the father wants to get him a game like a Nintendo or Xbox, to which I don't agree, as I feel that is negative technology and will only interfere with his IQ. So technology has its perks, but it can become dangerous very, very quickly. Maybe share your experiences with technology. So if you have exposed your child to technology, be very interesting to know if you've changed your mind since introducing them to technology and how that's panned out for you. Hashtag Expresso Show. We'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we delve back into an important conversation. It's Monday, so we're talking relationships. And today we are asking, do you have a positive or a negative connection to technology? And we're back with our clinical psychologist and good friend Asher Dullab to unpack this very interesting topic. Please weigh in with your questions, your comments on our Facebook page. And you can even give us a call on our studio line right now, 021-110-552. We'll forgive you for being connected to your device right now. You've got a free pass.
We want that. We want that. Now, Asher, there's nothing sadder for me going to a restaurant and you see a family and they're not talking to each other. The kids are all on their phones. You can see they've got no connection. How can families that find themselves in those situations, how can they break that cycle?
Yeah.
They need to become aware. I think that we need to actually look at that compulsion instead of looking at that compulsion, but actually consciously become aware of our behaviors. We are all well aware, but we're doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
So it's really just going back to that connection. If there was genuine listening to each other, caring, appreciation and acceptance of each other, there wouldn't be a need to be so distracted. We're so focused on our self-image that it's actually taking us away from knowing who we are.
And I suppose you just set the boundaries, but I'm going to be completely honest here. There gets to a point when you're kind of having a lunch or a dinner out where I'm like, dude, why don't you look at this? Because it's a management tool. I'm sorry, it really does help. So like I'm going easy on all parents, but maybe as the kids get older and enter into their teens, have rules. Say Friday night dinners out, We're not allowed to have devices out, Let's just set those boundaries. I want you to explain the concept of a good digital citizen to me. What does that mean?
That means it's all about respect and protection being on the internet. So, really understanding what is our role, what's our digital footprint that we are leaving on the internet, knowing that everything that we put out there will always be out there, taking precautions, setting up passwords to protect ourselves, and also treating people the way you want to be treated when you're actually interacting online. So it's all about just respecting oneself and others.
Because it does matter now.
Absolutely.
It really does matter.
People can so easily leave rude comments and it really affects the person reading it.
Teens are committing suicide as a result of cyberbullying.
Yes. Yeah.
It really can have a devastating effect.
If you find in your relationship that your partner is perhaps spending too much time on their phone, what is the best way to address it and bring it up in a way that doesn't cause a bit of a conflict?
I think it's important for couples and families to help each other recognize their patterns. I think that there are so many devices that have these apps that will tell you, this is how long you're on it. But we need to help each other and have that conversation, set those boundaries, and continuously renegotiate those boundaries. Because one day you may say that there's no device in the bedroom, and the next day the children backtrack on that, and just reevaluate and have that consistency, definitely.
Well, a rule of thumb between myself and my friends always put our phones either away or in the middle of the table, and whoever picks up their phone needs to pay the bill.
I like that one.
Really cool one.
No one wants to pay the whole bill.
But then everyone's going to be completely preoccupied for the whole dinner watching their tails. We're going to continue. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinion at home. If you want to weigh in with a phone call, 021-110-552 is the number to have on speed dial. But now we're going to help Coach Zoe. Now we put on our social media platforms this morning a challenge to let us know how you're in a relationship without telling us you're in a relationship, and people have approached it from very different angles, and they're all hilarious and brilliant. So actually, I want your opinion on some of these. I am Captain Lebo, with the longest handle known to man, says, don't ask a woman to smile, just give her reason to. Interesting. Jerusha saying, what do you feel like eating? Anything. I'll eat when you're eating. Without you, I can't eat.
That is such a relationship thing. What are we having for dinner? Sharifa says, always have to put toilet seat down. Yes.
That's a bad relationship, I think.
Sandra says, it's been 44 years and still going strong. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing, Sandra.
Oh, I love that. Please say we've got some more.
Well, we do have some more, and of course, we'll get into those. Let's take a look.
Mutaz says, I'm the king of my palace. I love that, man, as long as you got your queen next to you. No, very good. Thank you for showing us the way. We're going to continue to chat about how technology is impacting our lives. Does it have a positive or does it have a negative effect? We'll get into more of your Facebook comments and hopefully a few questions for Asha in just a moment.
And now time for an inspiring recipe here in the kitchen. Tomato bready, which is a South African family favorite and has the marvelous combination of lamb, fragrant spices and tomatoes that we all know and love. And trust me, no one's going to be sitting on their phone with this recipe dished up and being on the table. They're all going to be eating and focusing on that and connecting in that way. But once all of the ingredients are in the pot, you can leave it to work its magic until it's time to serve up. Teresa Alyate is going to make her version of a tomato bready and also chat about using less expensive cuts of meat, because it's important to start thinking about that. Those budget-friendly recipes are what we're all about. We love it.
Yeah.
And you've got one here.
Yes, so what we are using today is lamb neck, which is a little bit less expensive.
Okay, so the neck area of...
So the tougher cuts tend to be less expensive.
Okay.
They require slow cooking. It's going to take a bit longer, but you get beautiful flavor, and especially if you cook it on the bone. That bone's going to impart flavor. There's going to be richness there.
Yes.
So it's not such a bad thing.
And there's nothing wrong with slow cooking any meat, because when it takes in all of that flavor, it's magic.
It's a winner. So what we've done here is we've browned this lamb neck a bit earlier today, just in a bit of butter.
Yeah.
So you're going to take that out of your pan.
How did you brown it? Like what do you do?
Just in a pan. So I pop some butter and some olive oil in a pan, and then quite a high heat, and you just want to brown it on both sides. You're not cooking it all the way through.
Okay, I see.
And it just adds to the flavor, and it looks really beautiful. So now what we've got here, I've just added a bit more olive oil into our pan, and I'm going to add some onion.
Those the onions.
We're going to start doing our sauce now. So I love this dish. I mean, we all grew up with it. It's a flavor we know. And I love the spices. I'm just smelling this dish here.
Right?
It's incredible. I wish everyone at home
could smell it through their TV screens. But it reminds you so much of home.
Yes.
There is nothing that screams home louder than a recipe like this. And a bready is a classic of note.
Yes, right.
It's very, very inviting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm adding some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and some coriander to our onions. I'm also going to add some ginger and some garlic.
Nice.
So beautiful flavor there.
Nice.
And just let that cook off for a couple of minutes. Soften your onion. And just let those spices release their flavors.
Can you smell that? Can you smell that?
I can smell it. Absolutely. So good. Then what I'm going to add is some tomato paste.
Great.
So our tomato element is coming in here.
Yeah.
And some tinned tomatoes.
How do you actually manage tomato? Like, how do you make sure that the taste of tomato itself isn't overpowering? Is it in the little herbs and spices like the nutmeg?
The additions. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
I find in this dish there is a lot of tomato, but the spices really come through.
So they just sort of neutralize it.
Absolutely. And then if you cook them for a minute before the tomato goes in, it just releases that flavor.
Okay, so it's actually about cooking them a bit before the tomato goes in, so that the release already takes place. I love that. Great.
Exactly. So our tomatoes are in.
Yeah.
I'm going to pop our lamb back in the dish, back in the pot. And now this is where the slow cooking comes in. So
this is the neck of
lamb.
Of lamb.
Yes.
I love that. And you said that it's
so
actually the more inexpensive cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So think about that. Next time you're going to a visit to your butcher, butchery there, explain to them that you are looking for neck of lamb.
Yes.
Be on the lookout. There are many different cuts, obviously, that are very inexpensive or rather budget friendly. So you want to make sure that you actually do pay attention when you step in.
Yes, and just do your slow cooking and they'll come out beautifully. So I've added some lamb stock as well.
Okay.
You're going to bring this to the boil, then reduce the heat and let it simmer very gently for about 2 hours. So it's quite a long time.
Wow.
But you'll see that
fly from Joburg to Cape Town. But that's a meal made with love. If it takes that long, you know the love that's gone into it and the patience that it requires.
And the flavor's going to be incredible.
The flavor. Oh, yes.
And you'll see the meat will start coming off the bone and then you know it's ready. Don't forget to season and check your seasoning as well.
Nice.
The sauce will thicken and you can serve it with rice. You can put some potatoes in there if you like. And it's a delicious comfort meal.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Is it possible to taste the final product?
Yes, definitely.
Am I allowed? Am I allowed to indulge
I'm
and get
jealous,
in there?
actually.
You actually, had it all ready there. Don't be jealous. Grab a fork. get involved in it.
That looks so good. So you can see the
Wow.
sauce
So you can
is
serve it with
thickened.
like some nice some basmati rice.
Yes, any rice you like.
Okay, I'll tell you now.
Potatoes, a bit of
I'll tell you now.
bread.
Mm-hmm.
And the color's gorgeous as well.
You see, I want you to say this with me.
Yes.
Twice. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
This is it. This is it. This is a winner, an absolute winner. I love it, Teresa. You are amazing. This is so, so delicious. I promise you, everyone's gonna be coming for seconds when you make this. But it's perfect for the dropping temperatures as well. So with winter coming in, you want to be serving this sort of thing up. Go on our website if you want the recipe, expressoshow.com. The recipe's there with all of the ingredients. You've got no excuse. Teresa, you're fantastic. Put it here, my friend. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Get 50% off the attorney bond registration fee plus 5,000 Rand cashback on your approved home loan. Dial *120 *001*123 hash to find out how much you qualify for.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it's Monday. We are talking relationships and we are talking about our relationship with technology. Asher Dulab is here to take us through that conversation, and we have been inviting your calls, your comments, and it sounds like we've got a caller on the line right now. Anonymous, I love that. Anonymous, a very good morning. How are you?
Morning, how are you? I'm good.
I'm great to connect with you. So you've got the panel unofficially here for you this morning. What is your comment or your question?
Technology has affected our marriage negatively. We've been married for 7 years.
7 years,
and
okay.
my husband has cheated, not once, not twice, a couple of times, using his cell phone through social media. So whenever we try to discuss it, it turns out into a fight. So I wanted to know, how do we discuss it and go further without fighting or it being an issue in the house?
Can I ask you a question? Do you want to stay with this man who has cheated on you multiple times, or do you want to leave the relationship?
When you're married, leaving is not easy. So I wanted to check first if we can fix, but if we can't, then I'll leave.
Okay. Where do we begin? So how does Anonymous broach that conversation and start, hopefully in her case, the healing process?
Yes, I think it's important that they get the help that they need. Obviously, there's a lot of things happening in that relationship. You've got the cheating, but you've also got the use of the device. So these things do happen. The devices have made it so easy for us to connect with other people so quickly via our social media, via our phones. I mean, we're doing everything on social media or on our devices today. So I think that Anonymous and her partners, can go and seek the help that they need and have a conversation about what is happening on their devices. We also don't want to get into a situation where Anonymous has to constantly look at her partner's phone, and so there's layers of trust and betrayal.
It sounds like your partner is resistant, though, to engage with this. How does she get him on board for this journey, or what approach do you need to take?
I think you can't get anyone on board until they are ready to be on board. And they seem to be at different places at this time. You know, Anonymous wants to get him on board and resolve this and make their marriage work, but you need both parties to be on the same page to make this work.
Okay.
Anonymous, I hope that's helped a little bit. I know you're obviously in a very difficult situation, and we hope that you are able to find some kind of resolution moving forward. We're sending you all our best.
Thank you. No, I know what to do from here.
Good girl.
Thank you, Anonymous,
Good luck.
for your call. Asha, we actually have another caller on the line. Hester, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, what is your comment or question for Asha Dulab?
You know, I'm 81 years old, and I still ride my horse, and I do many things to clean the house. And I just want to say that for me, technology is wonderful. I can communicate with my family, and I can also order all my groceries online. So I'm very blessed, and I love it.
Hester, I love how savvy you are with technology,
100%.
like ordering your groceries online. I'm still trying to get my mom on board on that.
Hester, are you ever on social media? Are you big on Instagram?
On social media, at times I'm very busy, so I still play the organ at church, and I still do weddings and funerals. So, but I keep going because this is for me is special.
You can say, I ain't got no time for that, for social media. I love it. Hester, thank you so much. You've highlighted something that's so important, that technology can and is a very, very useful tool.
Technology is neutral. It's the human mind or the human being that is using it. So technology is not the problem. It's us as human beings. It's really just being mindful of what we are engaging at. I mean, look at our caller. I mean, there's smiles on her face, you know, the way she's able to connect. And this is what we have all been doing over lockdown. I mean, we've been able to exercise, we've been able to work, able to cook, listen to music. It's become our pleasure. We're doing everything on our devices.
Yeah.
It's information that's gone into knowledge, that's gone into wisdom. It's profound and wonderfully so. So we need to embrace how good technology has been for us collectively.
Yeah, maybe assimilate that. And I love what you said about being a good digital citizen. Set those boundaries and know how you can kind of transcend that. I love that.
And you know what was quite special? My sister and her little family moved to Australia at the end of last year. So with my nephew only being a year and a half, it's been beautiful to constantly be on video call with them and being able to communicate and see how he grows and develops. So there's a lot of beauty and positive things that can be taken from social media.
Absolutely.
Let's round this up. Any final advice for someone, and I'm going to speak specifically to those that feel that they are maybe battling with an ultra reliance on their device, or maybe some kind of addiction, especially on the social media side?
I'd recommend that, you know, get into a habit of doing a digital detox. Take a reality check and really be mindful of how much time are you spending on your device. Remember that it does affect us mentally, physically, psychologically. So go but right back to how is it making us feel. You know, we want to be able to feel good and healthy, and watch what we are engaging at, because you know, this whole idea of multitasking and doing so many things at the same time is actually not good for us.
No.
So
And for parents?
For parents, I would say engage in conversation with your children, but not only about the negative. The minute you speak about it in a negative light, children are defensive.
Yeah, they'll do it.
So rather also speak to children about what are the positives of technology, because there's lots of positives.
Rather know
engage.
what they're actually doing, yeah.
Absolutely.
And there are so many great ways for you, for someone that, you know, has to put different things in place to manage my anxiety. I find by turning off certain notifications to not get that really helps. And some things you unfortunately can't disengage from, like your emails. But what I've done is I moved the email tab to the last slide. So on weekends, that's the last thing I see because I need to slide all the way to the end. So there are really small things you can do to just manage your anxiety so that you still have your phone because you need to, but you don't have to look at the work emails over Saturday and Sunday until you have to.
Utilizing technology in the right way.
Otherwise, just turn the Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, man.
Oh, imagine that.
You'd be amazed. You know, the world does not stop turning. But there are so many positive elements for your kids, for yourself. We obviously have to live through our devices now. It's that era. So I think really the lesson that I'm taking out of today's discussion is assimilate that, understand that, and build on those. But we're going to take one last caller.
Let's do that.
Yeah. And we've got, I think, Nikita on the line. A very good morning. Oh, it's another anonymous. Oh, I love those even more. Anonymous, how are you? Can you please give us your comment or your question?
Yes, man. I would like to ask one single question, please, man.
Go for it.
Okay. So I have a slight, I don't know if I can call it a problem or what, but I'm currently dating my baby mama. So we're dating in a 2-year relationship. We're even living together. But I have a slight little problem. My problem is I have the eye for other women outside, man. And I don't know why, because I really, really love my baby mama, but I just keep on looking outside.
Are you acting on this is the big question. Have you started engaging with other women, be it through text, through DMs? Are you acting on this impulse?
Definitely not, man. I haven't. I just keep on looking outside, man. And it's like I'm enticed or something.
Okay, buddy. Thank you for that, having the honesty to broach us, because I think a lot of men out there are in exactly the same boat.
So the temptation is there.
Like I said in the beginning, you know, we are all eavesdropping, and it's made so easy now on the World Wide Web. We can just want to click on a button, just go and have a look. And, you know, naturally, I mean, as human beings, we are enticed and we look at the variety that's out there. And as long as Anonymous is aware of it, I mean, that's great awareness to start off to try and address his behavior, his compulsion, become more conscious of what he's doing. And the key thing is to gain awareness of one's behavior on our digital devices.
Yeah, man, and I would say just reinforce, there is a line, my friend, and once you cross that line, unfortunately, there's no going back. And maybe from a parent's perspective, maybe think of your child as being a part of that line, as a way of controlling your behavior. And don't forget that you are in control of your behavior. But it sounds like you're definitely on the right path if you are aware of this. A lot of men out there, I think, can certainly relate to that. So thank you so much for sharing your insight, man, your comment, and good luck, man. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong.
That was Anonymous on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and this has been a really good topic. I love all the phone calls we've had to Anonymous, as well as Hester sharing how technology has influenced and impacted their life. Well, Asha, thank you so much for joining us today. This was a good conversation. We need to have more of these.
I love that. I really do. I think the bottom line is to make sure that we stay in control and not let social media control and run us. It can be so powerful and so useful in making sure that our lives go as smoothly as possible. We are living in that era, but we've got to be mindful of the fact that we are in control. Some comments that have come through on social media when we asked you about the negative effects, of course, of social media and the positives, I suppose, in your experience. Karen Edwards saying the negative is that there is no movement that improves gross motor skills. Without gross motor skills, fine motor skills are not being developed, which causes poor handwriting skills as well as poor social skills. So this is obviously for children or in relation to children. There, we got another one here from Shakira Tilly Hendricks, who says, I think it's easier for kids today to get into IT or to get into it. Let's see, we'll find out. The negatives are it's made them sensitive and insensitive. Kids find bullying and rudeness funny, And they record everything, and yes, we've seen that. Then it's posted onto social media, and then the victim feels their life is over. And as we saw in the case of the young girl who was humiliated on social media with all the other kids laughing and taking videos of that, who actually eventually went on to commit suicide. So it can be very, very dangerous. And I think parents and families still have a huge responsibility to teach children sensitivity outside of the social media space. Tanya Natalie McCarthy says that, well, let's see the positive. I would say I have a 17-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl. With the lockdown, they've kept themselves busy with their phones, the laptop and PlayStation, and there has been no complaints about not being able to go see their friends, but still had contact with them online. Negative is not getting exercise or socializing, being, you know, kids playing soccer, for example. So yes, it connects people, as we're hearing here. They still were able to connect with their friends, but they still do miss out on so much more. Very, very interesting conversation, and I hope that all family members are watching this and taking stock, kids as well as parents. We still have a bit more Feel Good coming your way, 7 minutes to go before the end of the show. Thank you very much for staying with us. We still have a performance, of course, coming through after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso Live here on S3. Open up to some good entertainment, open up to some feel good. Ah, man, it's been so beautiful this morning, the hashtag Gospel Mondays. Now, this next song you're about to hear from Marlon Bruyns, who's joined us all throughout the morning and has been entertaining us throughout the morning, is a single of his, a very recent single. It's called Forever and Ever Jesus. This track has been described by many as being a happy song to remind people of the love, the peace, and the joy that can come and that we do certainly get from God. And with this performance, Marlon, Razan, and the sensational band, they hope to lift the spirits of so many out there. In fact, let's not waste any more time. Open up the stage, do the thing.
Thank you.
Yesterday, today and forever, you're the same. You gave it all. You took the blame and covered my shame. Lion of Judah, the holy Lamb upon the throne, I give you praise. I will worship you always, forever and ever, forever and We lift up his name.
No one like him. He's king. No one like him. No one. There's no one like him. No one like him. He's king. No one like him.
No one like him.
There's no one like him. No one like him.
No, 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 no. Come on. Put those hands together.
Jesus reigns.
He reigns forever and ever. Here we go. Yeah. Forever and ever. Forever and ever, Jesus. Forever and ever. Forever and ever, Jesus. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. Forever and ever, Jesus. Forever and ever. Forever and ever, Jesus. Forever
Here's to one last slice of summer and our first taste of autumn. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.